All right. We're starting. We're starting. We're here. Before we get started, let's we got two comments in there. Let's take a look. Los 2K6 is virtually here. I can hear y'all. Thank you.
What did you say?
I can hear y'all.
Oh, also, yeah, okay, sound good. That is good.
Mathis, what's
Always.
good? Keep it normal.
Hey, man, no thick water today, Mathis.
Thank you guys for being here. We're waiting on Rick.
No, we're not. We're not
We're
waiting.
not waiting,
No,
but
we're going right into this. No.
Um
Hey, guys.
so we what have you been up to? What have you been up to the past few weeks?
Well, first off, let me let you guys know what we're doing. We're getting ready to get started. This is like a little soft opening to give everybody a chance to get here, all of our fans. But what I've been doing is just got off a red eye back from London. And what I mean by red eye, I was high when I was on the flight and when I got off of it. Double flight, I guess you will. But no, I went over to London and I did a review of American Royal in London.
Now available on the channel. You can go check it out after this if you haven't seen it yet for some reason.
I mean, they must really love us. They spend 4 hours with us and then go back and watch footage. I mean,
You won that segment.
what do you mean?
I mean you won. You did a great job.
I owned it.
I mean, it's like you practiced, you did so well. You're this is the film is the sport that you are good at, and you went out there, you gave it 110%, and you went to London and you won, and that's what's important.
You sick son of a bitch! I just see what you did. It's a setup for what happened to the Jaguars. You know what? I did win in London, so I don't.
I'm just trying to get one Patreon back.
I don't care, man. Whatever. After this, we're gonna make it, man. So, like I say, I went to London, covered that. What have you been up to, man?
I've been all over the country shooting people, just on a shooting spree all over the country.
Foreign or domestic?
Domestic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, we're fucking everywhere, man. I was in a hometown of Philly, did a comedy special there. Went to Ohio, did a comedy special there. Was shooting a documentary in Athens, not over internationally like you were, just like right up in the armpit of Florida. Oh yeah, it's been so we took a break. You didn't see us, but we really didn't take a break. We broke ourselves.
I'm broken. Be thankful for you were broken. What movie? Somebody put it in the. Come on,
we went.
Be thankful for you were broken.
I don't know that one.
Freaking Split or either before Mr. Glass.
Yeah. James MCD is in here. He goes, "Welcome back, lads. Thank you."
Oh, look
James.
at that with a little London swag. Thank you, sir. I wonder how different we look from when we first did this. Like, I feel like we almost look the same. You should have did like a side-by-side comparison on how we.
Yeah, I don't. That would have been sad though.
Why?
Because that's
I can't speak for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it.
No one else will either.
Not on this day.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So this day, fucking Wakanda Forever. We saw it in 3D on Thursday night, and we have a lot of thoughts about it. I know I haven't really looked at what other people have been saying. Have you?
No, I don't really much care. I'm a professional. They're not.
But we're gonna get into that, and our first episode was
Black Panther. Go figure. So that's why we had to do this. When we decided to do this show, we like, what should we kick this thing off with? And I believe Chadwick Boseman had just passed, and we were like, you know what? Why not just go into this thing? Because it was, we got to talk about his work as an actor himself, and also as the human being he was. He's such a philanthropist, and people don't know that about him. But yeah, Black Panther was the first episode, and how fitting we're back. It was actually the same shirts.
I fill this one in a little bit better than I did 2 years ago. I feel like
that's what I
going to all these comedy specials, getting fed right by your people.
Well, when you say my people, are you talking about the Jabari or
no people that can cook well and take care of me? All right, so yeah, that's what we're getting into today. We're gonna be here until about 6 o'clock.
You don't have to stay to 6. I'm gonna be honest. I love us, and I gotta be here till 6, but you don't. But even if you leave, just leave it on your phone, man. Let it ride, man. Hey, come on, Tyler, I need this.
It's gotta be relaxed. We're not even gonna truly be here till 6.
You're gonna blow that cigarette smoke that way all day, or there you will see your first live fight on TTFT. Thanks, Surgeon General.
Yeah, we got clips we'll be playing from episode 1. So we'll be
Now, before we get started here, can we now restore the power of the Black Panther?
Choom.
That tastes good. It's good shit.
I could feel the oppression.
Little Jared Leto there. Dr. Leto.
All right, let's run that intro.
Get that beautiful bean footage going.
Chung. Do you think they're ready?
I don't know. Yeah, they're ready.
What the fuck is up, internets? Welcome to the very first episode of That's the
Fucking trailer.
Sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party.
Man, talk about a theme straight out of Mr. Royal's Neighborhood. I'm about to flip my shoe over. And right on time as we start the show, we're just going to let it go. If you're hearing any noise in the background, that is Rickathy.
Let's check in with Rick.
Oh, where's Rick?
Can't
Can't
Rick.
see Rick. You know what's so funny about all those things that are on the wall right there? It's like work harder, excuses are never not enough. The day is strong. You know what's weird about that is that you actually have to be there to read the messages.
Look at him.
Look at these guys, man. Who are these guys? We don't have a couch cam, do we?
No, we'll just have to turn that one a little bit.
No, we'll just have him go into Rick's work area if you want to call it that.
The couch cam is that's if you want to be heard, you gotta.
You're gonna leave us there. I like that.
I'm gonna say this now. We got a comment here.
They probably don't even know we're live now.
What are y'all drinking? Well, we said what we were drinking,
Who said
Mathis.
that? I just told you we just restored the power of the Black Panther. What else is what we drinking?
It's
The purple herb.
so thick.
Good gracious, this is not crump juice.
This-
Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise. What is going on, Rick?
What's
Rick,
up,
why don't you
Rick?
check in with the people, man?
Before.
Oh, that's funny because
Okay.
we're actually live right now, Rick. You see us on the TV. That's actually everything you're seeing now is happening now.
All right, you send the link out, and I'll do the everything you need to know, and then and then you can come after you send the link out. You can come sit over here because audio is only on this one. We'll only be able to see you on there.
Right.
But if you want to talk, you can come over here and take my seat. Yeah, I can see you there. I just can't hear you.
Yeah, and make sure Dominic has the link because if he wants to hear actually he doesn't need to hear what we're saying. We're saying it live. Shit, the fuck we talking about here? My bad. Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, overkill.
All right, so before we get into Black Panther, here is everything that you need to know about Wakanda Forever. It's got a runtime of 2 hours and 41 minutes. It is the longest running solo MCU film and the second longest film in the MCU behind Avengers Endgame, which was just over 3 hours.
Written and directed by Ryan Coogler, who also made his first film. 2018, Black Panther was the last film he directed before Wakanda Forever. He also did 2015's Creed. And if you didn't remember 2013 when Michael B. Jordan stole my first role, Fruitvale Station.
That was his first feature film. He only did like a few shorts before that.
Hey, listen, guy. Hey, guy.
Hey.
I said enough about him.
It was a great film.
All right.
Black Panther and Wakanda Forever were both also co-written by Joe Robert Cole. After the success of Black Panther, development immediately began for Wakanda Forever in 2019, with filming planning to begin in 2020. COVID delayed those plans, but the film's planned November release date was still kept.
Now, while Namor was always going to be the film's antagonist, the original concept for it, the sequel, was going to be T'Challa, but after the events of Endgame. But it was shot in Brunswick. Also, did you remember now? This was shot in Brunswick.
So smooth.
Smooth. That's right. I am smooth. I am good.
I did remember.
Top Gun Maverick. I am good.
Where was the shot at?
Brunswick and Atlanta, Georgia. ATL, ho. Yeah.
And on location in MIT in Massachusetts.
I said ATL, ho.
That what?
No, your people wouldn't get it.
Okay. What do you mean by your people?
Caucasians.
Namor is Roman written backwards. It is also Atlantean for avenging sun.
Now my people wouldn't get that. What? Atlantean.
The production designer, we actually brought this up while we were watching it. Hannah Beachler cited artist Jack Kirby as an influence on Wakanda Forever's production design. Kirby did Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Jaws, which is what like that whole Namor's people's first like entrance when they came and attacked the what's her name that first like fleet of U.S. Army people, Navy, I guess. when they attacked them, like that was more like a horror scene. It felt like
It felt
Jaws.
like something out of also Pirates of the Caribbean when the songs they were singing, but we'll get into that later.
Um, oh, she said that the Talakan throne room was her favorite set that she designed for the film. This one's funny. Winston Duke, he campaigned for M'Baku to be the sequel's main villain.
Really?
Yeah. Uh, Rick, you ready yet?
Sounds about right. All right.
Nick, do you got any Black Panther trivia or Wakanda Forever trivia that you want to share? Yeah, well, you got to come over here if you want to talk.
Seat, man. No, I got you. I saw what you were trying to do there. Come
Well,
on in, man.
no, this is there's nobody has to cross.
All
All right.
It's fine. Just, come on in, man. Have a seat, man. Introduce yourself. Oh.
What's up? This is
Hello, world. This is Nick Graham. I am an associate of these guys. I just came over for the Black Panther because I love Black Panthers. I got my rag. I kind of feel like I'm a royal from Wakanda today, and I came, to grace the big celebration, like when they were crowning T'Challa. I think that was just like the most nostalgic moment from the first one to me. So I know just going on to the second one, it was like they set a bar so high when it came to like power and representation of everything that was going on. It's just like when T'Challa, he flew through the water, coming through and then he showed up, came out on the suit.
Mhm.
That's right before the other guy challenged him, who ended up being, the homeboy. But it's just, I'm just glad that it kept going with, the passing of the main character and everything, and they were still able to make, a really great movie. I know that took a lot of work. When you lose the main character of your movie, it's usually not something you come back from.
It's actually the only time it's ever been done. No titular character has ever died after the first film. Like Edward Norton, I guess, was dead to Marvel.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Even those movies, the ones that came after him with Mark Ruffalo, none of them even had Hulk in the title. So Black Panther was the character, and that it's the only time that they kept the series going without the character that started the series. It's pretty crazy.
I learned something new today. That's the first time that's happened.
We're gonna get back to we're gonna get into specifically like favorite scenes, favorite lines, and like how you compare it to the original. So we'll get into that in just a little bit, but before that, I want to go back to our first episode of Black Panther, and we did our favorite scenes. So that's about 10 minutes, and we'll be right back after that. Here we go. So next up is 7 Minutes into Heaven. This is where we each throw out our top 3 scenes from the movie. I have 2 honorable mentions and 3 scenes because it was too hard to decide, so forgive me.
That's what she said.
First honorable mention is the credit scene where T'Challa addresses the United Nations. I thought that was badass, especially how they ended it with like his, again, that quiet, subtle power that he has where they're like, what does Wakanda have to offer us? And he doesn't even have to say anything. It's all implied in his look, his smirk, and it ends on that. It sets up, I'll get to what it sets up.
All right, hold on. You going to the second one now?
My second honorable mention is when T'Challa confronts his father and the ancestors, and when he screams at them that they were wrong. That was, I thought, a very powerful point in the movie, a very powerful point for his character, like his character arc, where he begins to change a little bit.
I like it.
All right, so here's my top 3 scenes. All right, number 3, when Suri is showing T'Challa the gadget she's working on, she gives him the demonstration, showing the power of the new suit. One, I just think that when you get kind of like a how it's made in a feature film, like a little mini episode of how it's made, that always interests me. But then they like threw in the humor in it where when she tells him to kick the suit, and he looks at her, he's like, "Why are you recording?" It's for research purposes. And he's about to get knocked across the room. And as soon as he does, like, delete that footage, and she's not going to, it goes right back to the middle finger she throws up at him. It sets up this, like, as much as he's a king, is a superhero, he's also still a brother. and to have that trifecta in one character, and he portrayed it perfectly. Like he balanced those three dynamics so perfectly. Where I've seen some people like, there's no way that sister or not she could flip off the king of Wakanda or about to be king of Wakanda and just get away with it in front of everybody. Yeah, she could, because it sets up this like family is first in this, even above politics, above any kind of respect to royalty or anything like that. It's brother and sister first, and then king. And
even with Nakia, when she talked to Okoye and said, "What are you loyal to?" She said, "The throne." He said, "What are you loyal to?" She said, "I serve T'Challa." To her, it was I know this is innately wrong, but I still serve what I feel is good.
Mm-hmm. All right, my number 2 is the whole action sequence in the club. That shot, that I know it's not one shot, but they did a really good job of making it look like it's one shot, where they go from one action sequence to the next inside the club, and it culminates with T'Challa and Claw having the showdown, and then he pulls out the arm gun.
Arm
that
cannon,
was
yes.
badass. Right into the car chase, all that whole sequence from the fight in the club to the car chase, where they showed the technology of his sister being able to drive the car.
Talk about the
another
agility
country.
of that scene. Like when they really talk about a Panther, like you have Iron Man with his suits, you have Thor with his hammer, you have Hulk getting big. But this was, other than Spider-Man, this is the first time where Marvel had to show true cat-like ability, and you saw it, him running up walls, clawing stuff, and like defying gravity. Like
when I watched that, my first instinct was, this is some subpar effects. But then I look at the behind the scenes, and it wasn't even effects. I'm just not used to seeing something real like that actually happening. There was actually stunt doubles on top of the cars flying through South Korea's like real streets, closed off for this production for a few weeks. And I already like the scene, because I mean it ends on that hilarious note where Lupita comes, the car explodes. She comes like skidding up, still sitting in the driver's seat, holding the steering wheel. They're both unfazed. They get up and just continue on. That whole
talk about the best
badass.
Bluetooth ever invented.
Yeah.
No, I'm not with her, but with Suri. What was Suri doing?
Oh shit, that's what I was saying. That technology where she's driving the car from a different continent. That's insanity. With her brother on top. Like you ever play like Cruising USA and you feel like the stakes are high?
Mm-hmm.
Your brother is not on top of the car in Cruising USA, and if you crash, it could be his devastation.
But what most people don't realize, it's also a callback to another popular 1980 movies.
You got me.
No, I don't. Teen Wolf.
Oh, okay.
I did my research, and that's a royal fact. That's not on the internet. Put that on their Wikipedia.
And my number one scene that I feel like that if I could do away with the rest of the movie and have one moment, one section of it, it would be from the point that Killmonger shows up with the body, confronts the council, challenges T'Challa, fights T'Challa in the what is it, the Warrior Falls. He fights him there. He kills Forrest Whitaker. He beats the shit out of T'Challa.
Spoiler alert! Jeez.
Beats the shit out of him, screaming, "Is this your king?" That was like devastating. That whole moment. It reminded me. It took me back to like every time Heath Ledger would be on the screen in A Dark Knight. It was just this feeling of, this dude is over the edge. Anything is possible. This is so interesting to watch.
It's funny you bring that scene up, because most people don't realize this, is that when he became king, it was a rising sun of him, and when him and M'Baku fought, and basically it was a rise of the sun. So you saw him ascending to being king. When he fought Killmonger impromptu later on in the movie, you saw the sun setting on the dynasty, setting on everything that was going on. So it's funny you bring that. It's not funny. It's just, you bring that scene up, and it's like, I can see why that's one of your favorite scenes, because like I say, when you're doing a film, guys, it's not about just writing something. When people, the same way people learn differently. Some people learn visually by touching things, seeing things, feeling things. A film is the same way. You have to make people feel all of these emotions. So if you want a really great film with crossover appeal, you have to appeal to people who need visual dopamine. You have to appeal to people who need. So that writing was amazing. Then people like me, oh look at that acting. Oh my goodness, you made me forget I was watching Tarian Royal or Will Smith or Denzel or Sidney Poitier. You made me forget I watched these people and you fall into the character.
Yeah. That's my 3 scenes. What do you got?
All right, let's go into Royal's bag of tricks. All right, so this. All right, so he's all in this notebook as if I wrote all this today, and the ink is the same dry way. That's what he's really doing. Okay, all right. My first scene is titled "Okoye Gets Loose." Now, I am going to dive into the scene to where what happens is okay. So the 5 tribes of Wakanda has all decided that they want to. They universally decided that they're going to go out through Ulysses Claw. And so what they have to do, they have to go to find Ulysses Claw. So 3 people are sent on this mission. There is Nakia, there is Okoye, and there is King T'Challa. So they all go on this mission. And so fast forward, they get into this club, which he mentioned earlier. And like he says, he said it was a culmination of the scene. To me, I definitely pre-ejaculated in this scene because of the fact of one reason and one reason alone. Okoye in this scene. See, what you got to understand for me is crossover appeal. And so sometimes the same way I say a movie can cross over to not just being a superhero film, but being an actual great film. I did not see a female warrior superhero in that scene. I saw, to quote Samuel Jackson, to Tim Roth and Samuel Jackson, which while it is one to say bad motherfucker. It's like she was such a bad motherfucker in this scene. People, you don't understand the discipline that went into this scene. I mean, she made my left nipple fully hard and my right nipple slightly erect. What I'm trying to tell you is, so Okoye, who is the head of the Dora Milaje, goes on this mission. So she, first and foremost, beautiful. She has on this wig for the only time in the film you see her with this wig. So she's going Nakia, going undercover, which she's completely uncomfortable with, which she mentions later on in the movie. Like, you are a spy. I cannot simply come and leave.
She throws that wig off the first second. As soon as they're found out.
The first, not only throws it, but uses it as a weapon at that. So my point is, and he's 100% correct. So as you see, she not only is she communicating, like running this mission, keeping everybody, she's keeping T'Challa and Nakia in check, who's trying to after the mission. Clearly, they tried to like, will the king be seeing you later? Depends on how the mission goes. Guys, keep your, so she's keeping them in check. So fast forward to the reason why I'm saying it's one of my top scenes of the film. She immediately goes from trying to portray being a spy, but still being the queen of, the queen. If you don't, I can't even say queen. Take that out. Being the queen warrior of Wakanda that she is, the most fiercest warrior of Wakanda. She immediately out of nowhere goes, I don't even know what to say. She goes nuclear war, Hiroshima on the entire freaking club. Her spear apparently got some version of extends that no one knows about, and she comes out of nowhere. She, as he mentioned, used her hair as a weapon. She jumps from at least 6 floors up, down with, now her shoes are off. Nobody knows that. She had on shoes when they got in there. The time the Sabrina with the nose hit the floor, she was not around. I mean, she did some Kill Bill like when she went and fought the Crazy 88 or some shit like that. She was not off. She left the club. The next thing you know, she was on top of the car too. She was in the, like, if it was not for what she, listen, even Nakia says it later in the movie, you are the fiercest warrior Wakanda has known. Like seriously, like a woman. So she was a more fierce warrior than King T'Challa himself. Now, yes, when he takes the herb, he's stronger and faster than her. But without that herb, the strongest warrior in Wakanda is Okoye. So that would be my one of my top 3 scenes.
Really, yeah, we're kind of on the same page there.
Awesome, definitely. So number 2. Okay, so we kind of touched on this earlier. So one of my other scenes that really stood out to me is when Eric Killmonger gets not captured by, he surrenders to the border tribe after he brings Ulysses Claw to one of the border tribe members whose parents in the film were killed by Ulysses Claw. Now in the comic book, T'Challa's parents were killed by Ulysses Claw, but they changed it for the film. So Not that scene but in particular, but it's when they go into the royal room, if you will, no pun intended, to where there's T'Challa, there's the other four leaders of the other tribes. There's T'Challa's mom, his sister, Nicoya, everybody's there. And so here you have this moment to where for the first time the protagonist meets the antagonist, the villain meets the hero. So to me, like he said, there's no villain in this film. There's just different various degrees of how should we get this done. And to me, that's why it makes what transcends this film from a superhero film. Strip away all the powers, all the FX, all the CGI, whatever you want to call it, all the marketing. It's a film talking about, while we may not agree how we see change happening, we both agree we want change.
Mm-hmm.
So when you strip all of that away, that's why this can be a standalone movie. But again, one of my favorite top 3 scenes was when Eric Killmonger, and King T'Challa meet for the first time. Because see, T'Challa has already been told the truth. See, that's what they don't talk about. He knew who Eric Killmonger is. And even when called to the challenge to say, ask me who I am, he turned his back on him because he did what his father did. Mm-hmm. He chose to omit the lie. Omit the truth. I'm sorry. Well, for all my women out there, I'm gonna look out for my women out there. That's a man line. I chose to omit I chose to admit the truth that so my point is this. So T'Challa turned his back. It was not until another strong member of another tribe who could speak at this tribal meeting said, translation, who are you? And then that's when Michael B. Jordan says, this is who I am. So look at that. That's why I say earlier when we talked about it, you say the character wasn't fleshed out. In his one moment of rage, when Michael B. Jordan's character, Eric Killmonger, could have walked in there and said, I'm such and such son. I deserve the throne. I deserve this. It showed his calculation to say, I'm not going to do it. Checkmate. You ask me who I am. And then I'm going to tell you. And guess what? I got the trump card when she says, that cannot be true. And what did my boy say from the border tribe? I'm sorry, it's true, Queen Mother. He walks up and says it is true. So he had the ace in the hole. He not only did he not say anything, he already had the case won. So don't tell me that his character was not fleshed out. Black blogger, you have to do the research and see all the writings in place to see what happened. So that was one of my top 2 scenes. You want to?
We're like we're 2 for 2 now.
We are. And we didn't tell them truthfully. We did no research together.
No, nothing was done together.
Not at all. We didn't. Like you said, I wouldn't let them discuss it. Number 3. Now this may be different. It should be. Hopefully, it gives a little difference here. Okay, I know this one has to be different. So we touched on it earlier at the first battle, the battle that Zuri said takes weeks to prepare. So at that first battle, if you notice, M'Baku came from the Jabari. And that was, if you paid attention at the beginning of the movie, Wakanda was with 5 tribes. 4 of the tribes stayed together. One of the tribes decided to go do their own thing, kind of like how we are in the United States of America. A bunch of people want to do stuff one way. Certain places want to do things other. So with that being said, how it relates to Marvel, this is why it's one of the most powerful scenes. M'Baku, who is of royal heritage, has the right to challenge. He shows up to the challenge late in fashion, as we do. That's how we gonna do it. When I say we, anybody with style or fashion, whatever. So
and his name is Jabari.
Whatever that means, Google me. Whatever. So with that being said, so he comes to the challenge and eventually, of course, everybody knows the story, they fight. But my point is this. So he interrupts the king's day. He does it purposely late. Like when you talk about what Killmonger, how they didn't flesh him out, and M'Baku came over that way for me. But when he does those things, before he can even get done talking, T'Challa, which he never does, never disrespectful, interrupts. Because remember, he said, a man who could not protect his own father. So instead of brashfully coming out like, man, you, all this other what does he say? He lets M'Baku keep telling him, I accept your challenge. Glory to honor, man. So then they fight. They have a good battle. And at the end, when T'Challa, unlike Killmonger, don't tell me they didn't develop the characters, could have killed M'Baku. What does he say? He's like, please, man, yield. Yeah. Your people need you, which goes a long way to say, I don't care what our differences are. I don't have to kill you. I can still defeat you and let you know I'm still going to do my thing, but your people still need you because your people are supposed to be my people. That scene was so powerful that people just shove it across because Killmonger didn't exercise that same. He was so filled with blood and vengeance and hate that he chose to kill.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
So there we go. So those are my top 3.
And
Beat that, YouTube.
I really like the dynamic of is it the Jabari tribe?
Yeah, the Jabari.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they're that like him specifically. That whole dynamic, like at first they come off as like traditionalists. They don't want any kind of evolution to take place, no advancements or anything like that. Like they kind of like when he first comes out talking about all that, he reminded me of like Republicans. It was like, oh, is this the right wing? Is this the Tea Party of Wakanda coming out to challenge? But then, you know, as his character develops and he starts to realize that T'Challa is not just par for the course as far as you know things go in the hierarchy of Wakanda.
But you know when he realized that though, correct? When he said
came in there and he said that when he came for help,
correct,
he was like
correct.
But the crazy thing about him is that he saved his life before that.
But why did he told him why? A life for a life. He said it.
Yeah.
He said a life for life. But what's crazy is he said a life for his life, but he also called him out and says, no king in the past, you know, has ever come here and tried to offer anything. You guys have hit the vibranium force while you advanced. We haven't. Now, from what T'Challa's point, he was like, well, that's because y'all decided to do your own thing. We tried to tell y'all unity was better. So it's kind of like they were bickering. But what he says, I cannot speak for past kings. Mm-hmm. And that's what changed M'Baku's mind to show up at the end of that battle. Not only for the end of that battle, for the battle in Infinity War and the battle in Endgame. He got M'Baku for 3 more movies just off doing the right thing, or 2 more movies for doing the right thing. Now go check that out, Blurs.
You're going to need a bigger. Stop that. Bring that back. Yeah.
I don't think you do.
Bigger boat. All right.
There we go. I'm going to see myself.
Full screen.
There we go. Wow.
Ew.
Wow.
Let's check in with the comments real quick.
Some information, guys. Those guys know what they're talking about.
We were so young, so dumb, so full of ambition. Dominic sitting over here chatting right from the couch. Wakanda Forever.
What is
Wakanda.
What say?
Wakanda Forever.
Oh, that's Ew.
Robert Mathis. Shuri and the Queen at the river having a conversation before the fishman showed up. Namor, show some respect. When she told her mother that it was just her conscience talking to her and not T'Challa.
That was pretty hard, Mathis. I'll give you that because it's like, damn.
He's in his
scoffs at tradition.
He's in his favorite lines already. Show him who you are, you bald-headed demon. Yeah, you bald-headed demon. That's they don't go together. Yeah, you bald-headed demon. That
hey man, stop putting some spaces or semicolons between your goddamn comments, Mathis. Where'd you go, Reigns?
Before we get into our favorite scenes with let's check in with Rick over there. So
Rico, they can't hear you. You got to come over here and talk. What are you doing over there, man? Looking like Lorenz.
Trying to draw. There you go.
There you go. I got a new challenge. No, it's not a challenge. I'm just making a comment. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hook it up.
All right.
It looks pretty good. Don't go back. That looks pretty good over there. This guy's talented, man. Anybody need Rick's to draw something? Send a Rick. What's your cash out? My money sign myself 904. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, Mathis has corrected me. M'Baku called Namor
the Fishman. He said, and I know what Mathis. I know exactly what scene you're talking about when they flooded. And we'll get to this when they flooded Wakanda, and he saw him. He looked to right. He was like, Fishman. Like Captain D's was 50 yards in front of him or something, and got his ass whooped. He got mega sonic punched in that vibranium chest plate of his.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the movie. I don't know what you're doing.
I was thinking about. I just before we got into the scenes, I wanted to.
I mean, but Mathis is already there.
I know. Well, he's already in the lines.
Yeah, get off that coke, Mathis.
That force field that they have around the place. They were out they were talking about how the hell did Namor and all them get into.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on this until I did a little deep dive. Well, yes, they swam under, but also because T'Challa kind of made them known to the world at the end of Black Panther. Mm-hmm. If you noticed on the first flyover in Black Panther, they have to go through the force field and it reveals itself. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen when they do the first Wakanda flyover. There's no the force field doesn't seem to be they're not hiding from the world anymore, so they're out there. Anyway,
inaccurate.
Well, I'm sure they still had the force field up,
Yeah,
But
they said they will open themselves up to the world. They didn't say they were opening up Wakanda. It's like for trading on Wall Street. They were open for business. You can't come into Wakanda. Did you see any tourists there? You see the people walking around with Wakanda bags on their arm and stuff? What's wrong with you, man?
Walt Disney World Wakanda, Walt Wakanda.
Well, there you go. Good grief.
Okay, all right. So there's that one. My other note that I had was by the titular character. I mean,
read some more comments.
No, hold on. I got one more note, and then we'll go to the I got a note and a question for you.
Okay.
Well, I didn't appreciate this till after we saw the movie. Like, I didn't appreciate till this morning actually that like right now for this movie to come out when they're essentially talking about weapons of mass destruction, and we're like on the brink of nuclear war with Russia and Ukraine.
Always?
I guess, but like now more so than ever. Like it's like the fingers are on the button. But I thought that was interesting that movie, like that they're touching on that topic. And the other crazy thing about that is that in this world that this story takes place in, this version of reality, the way events have, like, US is not the superpower. We're like watching military operations in a scenario where the US is not like the military superpower of the world.
Listen, don't make me go down this road just like Mark Wahlberg in the movie Shooter. He said, there are no Shiites, there are no Kiddites, there's just the haves and the have-nots, man. And Gunny, you better get with it.
And that's what I'm saying is usually in the reality that we know, and the only reality I've ever known, is that the United States military, if you combine everybody else's military budget, it doesn't even add up to a fraction of what our military budget is every year. And
you know what does add up to? Our debt, all the people we owe.
True, but we still got the guns.
All right. Yes.
But in this movie, in this world, Wakanda is number one, and now that Namor's people, they're number two. We're maybe a three.
Dominic got a point. Dominic, come on in, Dom.
You know what?
Come on.
And that's
hold on 1 second.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, come on in.
That's one of my biggest issues.
Make sure you talk to the mic.
That's one of my biggest issues.
Right there, yeah.
Wakanda was the most advanced country in the world.
Yes.
So when it came to Infinity Stone,
right,
and they came to the front gate,
right,
why was the main weapons just spears? Why was there nothing flying around? No type of Air Force, no type of ground, type.
And that is weird that you say that.
It was like, why was it so weak?
Because we saw that in the first Black Panther that they do have air support, but they didn't use it in anything anymore. You're right.
The only
people flying around was
just
War
one
Machine and what you call
it? Yeah, and Iron Man. I mean,
Falcon and War Machine. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you would have thought that they would have had so many type
airships,
of airships or anything, or just mounted guns.
Where were the war rhinos at?
Yeah, the war. I mean, it's just like, the rhino did come when those guys, because they were in the fight too, but it's just like the weaponry advancement was not there when they came to the gate. Yeah. I mean they broke through the force field, like they started sacrificing themselves, throwing themselves, and just getting losing limbs, and they didn't care about. So they got through that no problem. But I felt like once they got through the force field,
it should have been some all.
It should have been.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It should have been bombs,
like
vibranium bombs in the ground.
The touch of a button, and a lot of stuff could have happened. That's what I feel. If you're because that's what America has.
Oh yeah.
And if this the most advanced, I just felt that like that was a misrepresentation of what should have happened at the front gate. I'm not saying they still shouldn't have been in the same battle at the end, but
I'm not gonna make an excuse for them. I'll just say this: ain't nobody ever waged a war on Wakanda, so maybe they had just enough because they never thought nobody was gonna try them like this. I even find them. I even find them. That's probably I like that.
Yeah, that's my only grievance. But
okay, I like it. There you go. Bam.
I like how you fucking try to bring up the war rhinos while I'm not sitting here.
What's the problem?
We got into it.
Hold on.
We'll do the comments here real quick.
What's James talking about?
James, he loved the scene with Shuri in the ancestral plane on top of the surprise cameo, seeing her. Oh, by the way, there will be spoilers all up in this shit. So if you haven't seen it, just go now.
Now, James, to your point, what you just said, what I really loved about that scene was that It didn't leak. You can tell it was like a closed private set that they did that because I didn't see it online. He wasn't like, no one knew that. But it also, James, correct me if I'm wrong. Does this not confirm? And I'm not wrong, but I just want to make myself feel a little bit smarter by seeing who we saw in that scene. It means that he's definitely dead. He can't come back now because you can't be in the ancestral plane if you're still alive. Hey,
maybe Killmonger would find a way though.
I just smiled at it. You're gonna say it. Kids haven't seen this thing.
Annie is here virtually. Hey guys, I wish I was there with y'all. I'll be there shortly. I'm almost done with
Annie,
work.
how are we looking? And who looks better? And be honest now. Kids are watching.
Save me a drink.
Hey, could you screenshot that?
Mathis, play the Rick clip while Rick is there. Rick, shit.
Rick
Good call,
Rick
Mathis.
Rick and Morty.
I will do that.
No chino. Play that shit.
Yo no comprende mucho gusto.
One more time for the people in the black.
Yo no comprende mucho gusto.
I'm dropping that's the new mixtape hitting the street. Hey, name the 5 hottest rappers of all time, David.
Kanye West.
Man,
Kanye West. Kanye.
Hot fire. Puffy knows nothing about me.
So I guess you're a part of the Jewish mainstream media then.
I don't know what you mean. Sorry, guys. Not really.
You're welcome. All right. James says variants do exist. They could always bring in the multiverse Killmonger, but this one is
James, do not go time authority on me. Do not do that. Yeah, variants do exist. I'm not with this Kang and this Kang dynasty right now. That's to be determined.
Love you too, Andy. We'll see you soon. All right. My question for you is Shuri's AI.
What about it?
All right. I'm just going to give you 2 keywords, and I want to know what your response is.
Okay.
Vision, Mind Stone.
My response to both of those things is that I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't need to see Shuri's AI. I didn't need it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have an AI. I mean, but here's the thing. Once it's been done, Jarvis is the greatest AI ever. I mean, Skynet, sorry if you're listening, get out of here. But Jarvis is the greatest AI ever. And then right behind that is Friday, as far as in the Marvel Universe. So my thing was, they've already given us so much Tony Stark. It just reminded me, I didn't need that. She's already one of the most brilliant people in Marvel. So I don't need her. I didn't need her AI.
I don't know enough about it to speak on it. I just wasn't sure. Like I heard something like
then it didn't even speak Wakandan. That was the other thing that pissed me off.
Well, she used the technology that was used to make Vision, and every time they showed it, it resembled the Mind Stone.
No.
I don't know what language I'm talking.
Well, I do. And what I'm trying to tell you is Shuri is, out of all the characters in Marvel, she's like top 10 smart. And her brother were. They never touched on. That's what my grievance with the first Black Panther. They never touch on how smart T'Challa is. But my point is that I didn't need her AI. I didn't need it. I'm not against it. It was just like, you're already world building with Namor. You rushed Riri in there, Ironheart. We'll get to that later, but I didn't need it. Any more in the comments there? We're good?
Yeah, we're good. So our favorite scenes. Before we get into favorite scenes, this isn't technically a scene, but we do. I give the Marvel opener a lot of shit about how long it is, but
this time it was worth it.
Well, yeah, because they replaced every video, every picture with Chadwick Boseman, so they essentially opened up with a funeral and memorial.
Actually, they added that was actually done when he actually passed away. They just added a few more. They did that when he first passed away.
Well, that like the whole first 7 to 8 minutes of the movie is just pretty much the real cast and crew really mourning the death of Chadwick Boseman, and then a Chadwick tribute in the Wakanda thing.
And I'll say one thing about this: they didn't do an overkill. Like, even though it's almost the perfect way you could have tied it in. If you see the movie, if you haven't seen it, again, we're doing spoilers here. The way they tied in his death, they said he died from some unknown disease. It made you go back and hate Killmonger more. Even if you didn't hate him, and I was like, God damn it, that pushed me over the edge because they didn't have the herb to save him. So
he never yielded.
Hey, I mean, that challenge shit over.
That was cool.
So favorite scenes. You go first.
I think my favorite scene of the whole movie is probably the last scene. Spoilers. When Shuri is sitting there on the beach and she finally, it's not even in the ancestral plane, but she has that moment where T'Challa is there with her, just like her mom told her in the beginning, and it was just and I love the way they had no like the only Foley you hear is just the sound of wind. Like they trusted the audience to be quiet for like it felt like 3 minutes, like 3 minutes of just shh, while they played muted clips of him from the first movie, and she's just sitting there, and no words are spoken, but you can tell that it's this really pivotal moment in her, like it's like the climax of her character's journey, and that's what the whole movie ended up is like. It was like confirmation. This whole movie, like all of the big action scenes and all of the like the politics of like this country and that country, at the end of the day, it was really, it became, the whole thing was her story. It was her character's struggle from like, yeah, when you're seeing Killmonger on the ancestral plane, and like having that struggle of like not giving in to, it reminded me a lot of like the Star Wars, the Anakin Skywalker journey of like
she was on that.
She almost went to the dark side. But it just ended so somberly and quietly for a big comic book blockbuster film to just fade out and go to credits.
It
like
didn't have any. It didn't feel like a Marvel ending, and not in a bad way, not in a good way.
It felt like an indie, like it felt like some little like indie, like you see a Sundance or something like that. Even the shots were, that was
like
cool.
That. Oppositely, one of my favorite scenes from the film is the actual, not the opening scene with the where they're celebrating his life. It's like when the film actually starts, when it says 1 year later, and you have Angela Bassett and darling, you're the belle of the ball. Talking about her acting, we'll get there later, but that opening scene where she's called in from this NATO style council, and they're calling her out to about, you said you were gonna, the same way he thought, open up Wakanda to the world and share your things. Like they got this lady on trial, like it is the trial of the century or something, and she's sitting there with that black woman scorn, like I just can't wait for this bitch to shut up. I'm gonna get this bitch, because this bitch talking all this shit in French, and she don't know. I know your people tried to break into our outreach community, and then so she gets up, like I've never seen this before. You'd have thought like it almost looked like a closing argument in a courtroom. Like she was sitting there, then she gets up and says, the reason why we won't share this with you because you don't deserve it. We try to help you, and then someone in this own room sent people to break into one of our outreach centers looking for vibranium. But guess what they found? A Dora Milaje ass whooping. That's exactly what they found. I'm talking about that was a
I agree that
ass whipping, but it was how she talked to them. And she wanted them to know, you will never, you think because the king is dead that we are weak? Yes, we mourn our king. But it was just the fact that
like, that scene's definitely in my top 3 because, and a badass opening of a film too, because I watch a lot of C-SPAN.
you were like, waiting for somebody to do that.
People act a certain way in the chambers. And to see that just throw chaos into that. Like, could you imagine? I just like to think of like all the people like me that are at home just binging C-SPAN all day, and all of a sudden like this shit starts happening on. They're like, oh, the Michael Jackson gif.
Yeah, but then to top it all off, I think she speaks French to the lady and brings the French soldiers in, and then Okoye and them girls like, I don't know how she said, but it meant kneel. And they kneel like they was Tim Tebow or Colin Kaepernick or something. They just kneeled down to the ground. I was like, well, that was worth the price of admission. I'm out.
Let's get into some comments, and then we'll jump over to Rick. Actually, Rick's gonna need to jump over to here after we see what he's doing.
There we go. What I'm gonna do is, I feel like what we do, me and you get up, we'll let Dominic interview Rick about what he's doing and what's been up with Rick.
That sounds perfect.
Awesome.
James says, I really appreciated the parallels between the characters mourning T'Challa and the actors mourning Chadwick. You could tell this was very personal. Yeah.
So the acting was top notch in this, James. You're right when it came to that. Yes.
And that's a testament to Ryan Coogler to like merge the reality in that way, because he didn't want to even do it.
Right.
And I heard that Chadwick Boseman's brother wanted them to recast. So he was like, no, my brother's ego is not that big. He wanted it to he would have wanted it to be recasted and the character to keep going. But
I didn't know. Pass that over to Dominic. I don't drink on camera. I just consume. Like I'll drink, but
my 5 cents is here. Came in to show some fellows, show love, fellows, but I cannot stay. No spoilers.
I told you guys I love you. When you come in, is it So Jew, the habitual line stepper, or don't know what a rapist is, or is it who am I missing? The logical genius.
Angela Bassett is James's scene stealer. James, you just did a review of Wakanda Forever on your page, right? let us know in the comments, and then
And
we
if you
can
drop that link in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
we'll show it to everybody. Make sure they're able to get that.
do that. Let's check in with Rick
All right, no, you're
first.
coming over
Well,
here.
I'm gonna show what the pro. Oh,
You don't
okay,
see- no, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
okay. The blackboard has turned white. It is morning. It's celebrating.
All right, Dominic, you come on in. Rick, come on over. Talk to the mic, guys. Talk to the mic.
All right,
Yeah,
Rick.
we ain't seen the movie, so.
Oh, okay, then
Don't tell them that. Don't tell us that. Tell them
Rick and Dominic are gonna sit down, talk about the film.
that he hasn't seen. Oh, yeah. We talking about the paint. Yeah, the paint is paint. Not the paint. We're talking about that on our show. I want to hear that about
Okay.
P-Battle.
Where's the camera at?
Oh, sir.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Here with my boy Dominic.
What's going on? I got my man Rick B,
Hello.
the artist of the moment. Rick B's got a nice Black Panther painting session going on. Well, not painting, more so of a drawing. Can you elaborate on what you got going on over there?
You know, I kind of got inspired from the first one I saw. I like the city, you know, so I'm gonna add a little bit of the city of Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put a bank. Oh, we don't want to show them yet. Actually, we could. Okay.
Sneak peek. Sneak peek.
Yeah.
No
So
shots.
I got, they hit me up. They was like, they need Rick B to draw. I said, okay, I'm coming through.
Yeah, I remember the very first TTFT show, they featured your drawing in the studio. We didn't even have a Studio 83 open yet, but we had you featured with your drawing, so it's that lets you know it's a big day.
Absolutely, it's right there.
We got Rick B back showing the picture. So what do you think you're gonna what you're trying to grab? What essence you're trying to grab in your photo and represent as far as Black Panther today?
What I want to bring to the table to y'all today with my drawing, I want to bring power, showing a Black Panther, and he's standing over him, and he's just gonna hold it down, I guess. I'm just freestyling it right now.
Yeah, he's a freestyle artist, so he just kind of free hands. It's not tracing.
Yeah,
you'll be able to tell it looks real authentic, but definitely looking forward to it.
When you gonna see the movie?
Supposed to see it tonight. Tried last night, but it was sold out, man.
Okay.
All the seats was taken except the very front row.
Okay.
And we was like, we'll just wait till today. So when we leave the studio today, me and the fam, we're gonna go check it out.
You seen Woman King? Would you say Woman King got a little bit of Wakanda in her?
I mean, without seeing it, you can definitely see the warrior type.
Yes.
The female warrior, the power that it brings. So yeah.
Yeah, and I like that knowledge. My boy David was dropping earlier. I was trying to draw and listen at the same time. And what are you holding your hands up for?
Oh, nothing. I'm the human encyclopedia over here.
I know. I don't even know why I asked that question. I already know what's going on. But I was trying to concentrate, but David dropped some dun because I come from the 80s, the Cold War era, and I was always nervous about a nuclear bomb. Isn't that the Cold War? I don't know.
I'm not like it. I like that.
Yeah. Russia and Fidel.
Yeah, so it's all, and like David said, it's like the worst it's ever been. I'm scared that something might malfunction and boom, there goes Wakanda and everybody.
I mean, the only thing that would scare me about that whole situation is that your boy Putin is kind of
off the chain.
Wire. Yeah, it's like I don't know what he would do in desperation once he's.
Hey, imagine if
he's lost.
Imagine if things was turned and he moved to America and he went to you know what I'm saying? Reebok.
Sure
they'd have been like Mr. Putin, stand up. Everybody would have been giggling.
All of the help we sent over there.
Can I say that?
So much money to Ukraine. So yeah, I know he hates the U.S., but that's the whole war itself never gave me like oh my God, what's going on? But more so it was like, what would he do in desperation once he know he's lost?
Or he might be something going on with his brain, and he's still the dude running the show. Got to be right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You kicking us about it? About the chair? Okay. Yes.
Coming back later.
For a long time.
Y'all doing good. Y'all doing good, man. Let's keep this thing going. All right.
I got the mic.
Yeah. I want to thank Dominique and Rick B for doing what they do. We got any comments while we were going there? What do we got going here? To the right?
It's Logical Genius watching.
Logical Genius. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Here you go, brother. There you go. So, what we're going to do now, we've already discussed our favorite scenes. And again, what we're doing, we're following our format from our first season of our show. So, now we're going to go into our favorite lines. So, if you have any favorite lines from the first film or the second film, feel free to drop those in the comments now. And hey, it's Saturday afternoon. It's college football on. If you guys are in here, don't be in here by yourself. Bring somebody else in. We're discussing Black Panther, so Wakanda weekend. Let's fucking do it. Dave, roll that beautiful bean footage.
I will in just a second.
God damn it,
I'm getting
that
there.
was perfect setup.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. Here we go.
SHIT twice.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Jaws reference for my 1980s kids out there.
What do you think the best line is in
Blow?
in
Oh, wrong movie. I'm sorry.
I got two. I had to pick two.
That's not what you. First off, that no, that's not what you messaged me. We had a pre-production meeting 2 weeks ago, and you told me to choose three. So you're lying to me now?
Oh no, those top three scenes. We were only supposed to pick one quote, or just whatever. It's our show, man. We can do whatever we want.
Okay, let's go.
So how many do you have?
3.
Okay. All right, cool. So you do one, I'll do one, you do one, I'll do one, then you do one. You start
Yes,
it,
sir.
you start it and wrap it up.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I did get one. I'm sorry. So
Okay, so I'll do one, you do one.
go for it. 3, 2, call it.
No, all that's going in there. I ain't calling anything.
That's what she said.
All right, my first one is right at the beginning, or towards the beginning. T'Chaka, he says, "You're going to struggle."
Who's T'Chaka?
Who is T'Chaka?
I have no idea. T'Challa is Chadwick Boseman. T'Chaka.
Oh, damn! You're gonna call me on a
Well, we're doing a
technicality?
professional show. I'm going to call you if you're going to pick up.
All right, that guy, T'Challa's father.
No, that is T'Chaka.
Yeah, that's who I said.
I thought you were talking about the Will Ferrell movie. Land.
No.
Go ahead.
One of us is talking about the movie that we're doing in the episode. So he says, which, man, I'm feeling this even more than ever right now. He says, "You're going to struggle, so you need to surround yourself with people you trust." That is like a proverb inside the movie. I thought that was really awesome.
To me, that's something that resonates. Yet again, the film resonates to something that's not talking about culture or color or a demographic of people. What it's talking about is birds of a feather flock together. Surround yourself around. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the dumbest building. Stuff like that. Because again, you want people who are going to elevate you. Like even with me and you, the essence of what we're doing. Like they say, friendship and business don't mix, and I'm a firm believer of that. But I do believe if you're truly, but if you're someone's friends first, then business comes second. So our friendship is first, but because we so much respect our craft that as friends, we both know how much we care about film, that we won't let this show fail. And
when you consider like where that quote is coming from, that's coming from a man who his own brother betrayed him, and his right-hand man kept a secret literally to the grave. So he had both examples of like somebody close to you that you can't trust and someone close to you that you can. So that just adds so much weight to that.
I concur, sir.
All right, what you got?
All right, so okay. To me, this hits home on so many levels. This show is about film. This show is about what we do. This show is about our lives. At the end of the day, we're here to entertain you guys. We're here to just be a guide to all you kids out there who are thinking about being filmmakers and picking up a camera and buying one and learning, going on YouTube or spending too much money at Full Sail. We love you, Full Sail, but if you had us as directors, you make more money and have less students. But that's a subject for another day. So I don't want to like preface this with anything. I'm just here to say that I am who I am. When I use the term blurred, most people will look at me and say, "Oh, you're just saying black nerd." Well, no, that's actually a thing, because it's one thing to be a nerd, which I would love to just be a nerd. I would love to just be a film geek. Unfortunately, the world I live in doesn't allow me to do that. So when the world is, I only paint the world that I see. So you can't, if you're not living in my world, you can't understand it. While you can empathize, you can never sympathize. Don't tell me you understand. So for me in this film, and while it hit home, to quote Doc Rivers from the LA Clippers, I wish I could just be a coach. And to me, in my sentiment, what that means, I wish I could just be an actor. I wish I could just be a director. I wish I could just be your friend. And me and you are really good friends, best friends. But at the end of the day, innately, because of the world I was programmed in, thank goodness I know how to hack life, that I can break out of those confines, and still I won't let the hatred that the world bleeds to me make me not be a friend first, be a father first, be a human first, be a film critic or a great actor first. So thankfully I can go above that. I say all that to say this: my best quote from the film comes from your best actor for the film, or your best actor of the for our first episode, Mr. Michael B. Jordan. And by me saying that, you should know that I definitely mean it. Because
I already know what you're doing.
Wow,
what
then you should have chose it then. my best line for the film goes to a gentleman who I've competed with my entire life, even though he doesn't know it. And while I've competed with him, I may talk shit about him with my friends, but publicly I have nothing but respect for this gentleman, because while I don't know him as a person as far as his acting skills, I have nothing but respect for, because like real recognize real. So my best quote for the film of Black Panther goes to Michael B. Jordan, character wise known as Eric Killmonger. The line was, "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships, because they knew death was better than bondage." To me, as he mentioned earlier in the episode, I had a lot of quotes prior to this that I thought were super awesome, funny, and clever, but what do you want me to tell you? You want me to look in this camera and be super happy that I'm intelligent? You want me to look in this camera and be super happy that I've loved film since the day I was born? You want me to look in this camera and be like, oh, this is a great show, we shouldn't talk about stuff because we have to monetize ourselves and reach 1,000 subscribers? I'm not going to do that. Whether this show,
Sorry.
no, it's okay. Definitely subscribe. Whether this show fails or does not fail, one thing you cannot change is that I know where I come from. I know how awesome I am. And to hear that quote from an actor that I am in competition with, respectfully in competition with, because that's what made this show so great, for me to pour my heart out and say that
Sterling K. Brown.
What will Brown do for you? For me to pour my heart out and say to you that that line means so much to me, because before I knew I wanted to be an actor, before I knew that I wanted to see the world in a different light, I knew that I would rather down my knees than live on my feet. And so, as me and him have talked about, we both agree that if we had to make a choice between Eric Killmonger and King T'Challa, while I respect what T'Challa was trying to do in the world that I live, I would love to accept reality for what I want it to be, but I have to respect it for the reality that I live in. So to me, that was my best quote of the film, because I resonated with it so much. First, as a human; secondly, as an African American; thirdly, as an activist; fourthly, as an artist. So you see where my priorities lie. I'm like, again, I can only tell you the world I live in. Don't tell me I shouldn't feel the way I feel if you don't live the world that I live in. I live in a world to where, for a film purpose wise, I hate when they like cast other characters as different characters. Like when Daredevil character recast Kingpin as a black character, I hated that. Like, I don't want to see, like, I love the fact that Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, is the dopest movie, and a black director and a black character got the love that they deserve. And that's dope, because see, that was worth that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But I don't want to see these other characters, whether white, black, or blue. I want people to realize, yes, I grew up with 98% superheroes that look nothing like me. Yeah. And I was taught that they were better, smarter, faster. That's the program that was set into my mind, matrix wise. This is a film podcast. Shall we not talk about film? I was fed a pill. But because I come from a heritage to where they gave me the last name Roy. That's the name that was given to me. I would like to think that y'all chose the wrong motherfucker to give the last name Roy. You knew my ego was too hard for that. So I resonate with this film so much because that quote there is exactly, had I been born 100 years earlier, or we've been born 100 later, me and you would have never met. We're the products of people fighting hard from both sides of it, people that fought for us. So this quote to me is my best quote of the film, because to me, death is better than bondage. I will never be a slave to anyone.
Yeah, that was a killer final line for him, and perfectly fitting too. And that is a somber conclusion to we're going to need a bigger boat. Let's move on. All right.
And we are back, guys. So listen, again, this is the time where if you want to put your favorite lines down there, you can, and we'll discuss them with you. But I just want to go ahead and say this is that I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started off. You want to know one of my favorite lines of the film?
What's your favorite line of the film?
So they go and get Riri, young Ironheart, from Boston. They are in this her work garage, her little work area, and the government, Uncle Sam, is closing in on Riri, Shuri, and Okoye. So they bust down the door with like some flashbang, and all you hear is one dude in the background say, "Oh shit, she got an Iron Man suit," and they run the fuck out of there. Like, that's one of the fucking dopest lines ever. Like, again, they just showing you how big of an influence Tony Stark had on the. There is no Marvel Cinematic Universe without Tony Stark and without Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal. So even though he's dead, they always reference him somehow in every film, even if it's the little most minute thing. They're always going to go show respect to Tony Stark, Robert De Niro's character, portrayal of Iron Man. I love that line.
And then what's her name? Okoye. She had the
cheat sheet.
I'm not fucking up.
I know.
And I'm not gonna be ashamed about it too. I want to get it right. I want to get it right.
Movie magic, love. Movie magic.
But I don't care how many times I don't care how many times I write down the actress's name. I'm never gonna say it right. What is it? Go ahead.
Where you at?
Denaya Guerrera.
Yeah.
Denaya Guerrera.
I call it DG.
DG. That's what I call myself.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, but her with that, she had the line that was like a callback to another Marvel character after she fought the dude on the bridge. It's like he had the strength of the Hulk. I thought that was pretty cool. But actually, hold on one second though, because
that's your line.
That's one of my favorite lines, but not my. I have two other favorite lines, but I want to go back. I want to go back real quick to my favorite scene, the ending scene, and I don't think that it was just that it moved me. I think it was your favorite too, because I have. Can I call in the photographic evidence, please? There it is. Okay, so that's the end. No, a beautiful tribute. If you don't like, I think that it's a moving tribute, right? To have that at the end and then have the title come up like that, and then, I mean, you don't have to answer because. Oh, a little spoiler there. A little spoiler. All right.
Now let's go ahead. Listen, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to say it one time. I'm not bringing this shit back up. It's nothing wrong with crying in the film. I've cried at films, in films before. That was not one of those times. I oiled my hair before the movie. We were watching a 3D film, and when I took the glasses off, my hair hit my eye, and the oil hit my eye, and saturation came out of my left eye. I don't understand what the issue was.
There's no issue, but it's okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. There's no crying in baseball, but you can cry in movies. And I was not crying though. It's okay though, right?
It's okay.
But
I'm not.
But if you didn't, it's okay.
There's a lot of sarcasm in this room, and it's not coming from me.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
All right. So with that being said, not your favorite cries, your favorite lines, everybody here. So David just gave us a favorite line. And I have a line for you. Fuck you. But here's another one of my favorite lines from the film. Here it's almost was like an epilogue. When, spoiler alert, Shuri, they think she gets kidnapped, but she gets taken to the lower world where the water is, if you will. That's the worst definition of. She gets taken to Namor's home. There we go. The professionals back. She gets taken to Namor's home. So basically, Okoye thinks she's been kidnapped. I mean, rightfully so. So Okoye goes to the council, which now includes M'Baku and all the members of the other nations of Wakanda, of the tribes of Wakanda, and she's like, "Look, you know, they didn't got her. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to go get her." And you see the whole council sitting there, not saying a word. And all of a sudden, Queen Angela Bassett is like, it's like the scorn she had been holding in forever. She looks at her and she's like, "I told you not to take my daughter on this mission. When Killmonger was here, you had me run to the Jabari for help while you stood alongside Killmonger. You're no longer worthy to be leader of the Dora Milaje. I strip you of being the like." You saw how she broke her. It would almost remind me of one of the first Thor films when Thor, Odin's son, you're no longer worthy of it. They start ripping all this stuff off. Like she ripped Okoye's soul out by telling her that she was no longer. And then you saw Okoye go to the ground like, please, like, almost let me down.
She tried to say that before Ramunda or the Queen stated her case, but after, like, I'll be honest, when the Queen was first like, you're done. And then she started crying and pleading. I was like, man, she's making this personal. She's making this, she's being emotional about it. This is why women can't be president. And then I don't believe that now, because she proceeded to lay her case out. And it was like emotionally grounded. But the way she presented that argument, the way she told Okoye how she fucked up, she told her that she told her not to take her to the U.S. on this mission. The way she broke her argument down, by the time she was done with it, I felt like Okoye. I'm like, yeah, I got nothing. I can't argue with what you just said to me. You're right.
Now from the Women's Association meeting, they hate you. You got to get off the show.
Do you hear what I'm saying though?
No, I don't. I don't speak.
Not the first part. After that, when I came to Redemption, the fact that the Queen laid out her case so well.
Yeah, but yes.
That like, because in my mind, like, no, you can't take Okoye is like, you can't. But then she laid it. I was like, man, she kind of did fuck up though. And then even Okoye was like, yep.
And she walked out of there. But you could tell she was never going to stay away long. Like, you can't keep her down long.
That was the longest. I
almost think that she told Neymar where to come back to, so she could be like, the warrior returns him back. The city needs me.
Yeah, she was waiting. She knew I'm retired now. That's
retired for like what, 18 minutes?
Yeah.
The kid needs saving. That kid was fine. She's just running in there. He was just going to get swept away in water.
James says you can come to Wakanda conscious or unconscious. Justice for a core.
That was dope, James. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Celeste Locke is here. Hey.
That was from Fat Albert, Celeste. Sorry, wrong movie.
One of my favorite, I think this would be my second favorite line, is Namor.
You got that one I see.
He goes, Namor comes in with all his people. They fuck Wakanda up. They kill the Queen. And then he says, before she's even taken her last breath, he goes, bury your dead, mourn your losses. You're the Queen now. Essentially, bury that bitch, cry a little bit. I'm going to be back in 2 days to finish fucking you up.
You sure you don't have a problem with women? You just call the Queen a bitch. What is wrong with you, man? Put some soap in your mouth.
That was an awesome line. I just love.
I love. Say bitch.
Yeah, but essentially he did.
I mean, he paraphrasing here. Yeah, per se.
Yeah, per se. He definitely kind of did.
Nah, that was badass. I'm not gonna lie to you. When he looks at her, it's like, you're the Queen now. Almost from Captain Fisher. I am the captain now. He's basically saying, I just killed her. That's like one of the most bad. Like, instead of saying, I just killed her, she's dead. You're the Queen now. Like, god damn. Like, oh, now you know what? I know we're done with scenes, but again, we're Dominic. Let Dominic come in real quick, because I want to see his thoughts on this. I know you haven't seen the film, but I want to see what he thinks about this. Come back. Go. Let Dominic in.
All right, I'm gonna fix.
Get your misogynist ass out of here, woman hater. All right, no, Dominic. Earlier, this is Dominic, guys. Here again, if you're just joining us. So with that being said, you were talking about earlier about the Wakanda technology, where they did do something. You know how in most films, when people are dying and they're going to cardiac arrest, they have the machine had to clear.
Defibrillator.
The thank you. Defibrillators. Say that 2 times fast, even once.
Maybe say the room.
Right. What they did was and I had never seen this in any of the films, and David remembers this as well. When the Queen is dying, they're trying to revive her with CPR. They use their Okoye beads. What the fuck are you doing when I'm giving this beautiful explanation? They hear all of that. You're misogynistic and you're artist hater. Get out of here. Get your woman hating ass out of here. You don't even know how to let it all the way down. I was in the middle.
The No Ma'am Club. Al Bundy. No man.
I just want to let it halfway down. So
Can I get my point halfway down? Just stop, man.
I see what it's doing now. I see what it's doing. I gotta let it all the way down, but I gotta bring
No, that's not how it works, bro.
I gotta bring it up to where I want it.
You know we're live, right?
Boom. Boom. It's good. It's good now.
Again, you may see a fight on live TV today, and I will win. With that being said, I'm talking to the fucking people. And with that being said, guys and girls, kids, earmuffs. With that being said, so Dominic earlier was talking about the Wakandan technology and the things that were happening, and so he was saying how they should have been more advanced. Well, one of the advancements they made in the film, Dominic, was when the queen was drowning, they were trying to revive her. They used the Okoye bees to perform the defibrillator as a defibrillator. So
Okay.
they was pushing on, and the bees were trying to bring
Giving
her
like
back
an
to
electric
life.
shock
Now, what
to
do you
her
think
heart.
about something like that?
That's like super convenient. That'll save a bunch of lives. That's
Shitting all over Batman's
it. Kind of.
utility belt.
It's like when I touched on it the first time. I kind of thought about it though. It's like it's really not their nature to destroy, more so to
It's more
create.
to create than destroy.
So their technology more so went to saving, like when the pilot they saved his life, and brought him back. In the regular hospital, he probably would have died. You know,
Very
it's like
true.
so they have the technology, but they're using it for good rather than evil.
And I'm happy you say that. There is a line in the movie because I'm happy you hear. One of my other favorite lines in the movie, and David also remembers this, is when Everett K. Ross, the guy that they saved, that's who you're talking about from the first film. He is a CIA liaison. So they're talking to him, and he's talking to Seinfeld reference. Julia Louis Dreyfus is in this. Elaine from Seinfeld, but basically, he's talking to he says to her, "Have you ever thought that the nation of Wakanda and these new people that have all these vibranium, they've had it for years. They've never done anything to us. Can you imagine what would happen if the USA had that?" She looks at him and says, "I dream of the day," because we wouldn't do it the same.
Yeah.
We would try to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the room, and I don't know that we use it to create versus destroy.
We would establish dominance.
Yeah,
that's what the U.S. would establish dominance. But then I thought about it. When I left, we're like, it's just not their nature.
It's not their nature. And like you say, they rather, you know what I'm saying? Even Okoye says that, you may remember this from Endgame when they were meeting. She said, that was a subtle callback, and nobody remembers this from Endgame when she says, we heard something about an earthquake so many feet under the ground. And she was like, "What are you going to do about it?" She was like, "Nat, it's an earthquake underwater. We deal with it by not dealing with it. It's not a problem until it's a problem." Yeah, it's not their nature. So I just want to see what you thought about that. Now I'm gonna let this woman hating bastard come back over here, and I'm gonna step out. No, you stay right there.
So it makes sense.
No, you stay right there.
It makes sense.
You bring your woman hating ass over here, man.
No, ma'am. Like
Al Bundy.
Yeah,
poke out, baby.
No, ma'am. 4 touchdowns.
Single game.
Still a record.
Weird on this side.
Is it? That's what she said.
Why'd she say that?
Let me get this over there.
If everybody's calling you a woman hater by now, I've not done my job.
I'm the biggest hater.
First Elizabeth, now Ramonda. What is it with 2022 and killing queens? Well,
whoa.
Who did that?
Whoa.
James said, yeah, they're bringing up like weapons of mass destruction with the whole shit with Russia and the queen dying at the same time. Yeah, they're hitting on some hot topics.
Making it very
mention the death of Chadwick Boseman.
Relevant. They're making it very relevant to the times, and that's good directing and writing all put together.
Right, especially when it was not the original story.
Exactly, and I know it got delayed, with the COVID thing. So
for more than one reason, COVID.
Yeah. So they had to, still throw some stuff in, maybe here and there, or maybe they knew the future. Who knows?
Mathis said, "Show him who you are" was a great line, placed at a pivotal point in the lead character's life. Yeah. My last favorite line was, you wanna check in with Rick before we do the last?
Yeah, let's check in with Rick.
All right.
All right, so guys, they can't hear me, can they?
No.
All right, so tell them what you.
Somebody
they can't hear me.
Somebody talk to him.
Okay.
Just pretend y'all see what he's doing.
We got Rick B checking in. T Royal actually checking in with Rick B while he's drawing. He's drawing it, pretty light, so we can't see it yet. He's going to darken it up. It's kind of like the light bright. It's going to appear all of a sudden.
what's CETA before some color starts getting splashed on that?
Are you qualified to ask that question?
Oh,
Some color just accidentally got splashed on it from. I don't know what.
You have all the materials.
A mosquito.
Oh my god. Okay, we're going.
You see why I told you?
I don't know,
Rick. Because you can erase if it's on the blackboard. I told you that.
I don't know.
Well, I wasn't anticipating. Using
Well, it was Killmonger. Now it's Barney's little son that's been in the gym.
Yeah.
I'll come back.
He started over like 2 to 3
Yeah,
times.
he
You know,
did.
so-
I'm back. All right, so let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So where we headed at now? Oh, slide. That's a good slide. We got more comments here.
I got one more line. We got through those comments
Okay.
for first from Moon. Now we're
Yeah, one more. Go ahead.
I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm gonna say
Oh,
the
go
gist of it. Shit, I can't even remember. Killmonger said it. He said, and I think it was echoed later on from another character, but it's essentially it's not about the how, it's about the why.
Oh yeah.
And that is like, I remember in the first one they dropped some proverbs too, and this one was that the way I take that is like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
It like you'll figure out how to do something if you want it. If your why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. Like if somebody were to hurt somebody I loved, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how revenge is carried out.
We'll figure that part out later.
Yeah, it will happen.
Why are we doing it?
Yeah,
has to be done.
if the why is big
love
enough,
that.
the how doesn't matter.
I love that. And here's the thing about it. If you've seen the movie or when you do go see the movie, this is why I talk about the great acting in this film. You see, first and foremost, shout out to them for keeping it a secret with Killmonger. But my point is this, when they go, Dominique, when they go to the ancestral plane, usually they see their family. So at a certain point, the queen dies in the film. And when Shuri goes to the ancestral plane, she's looking for her dad, T'Challa. She sees Killmonger. And I thought that was dope. But not only that, he's basically telling her, he's like, your daddy was a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want to help nobody outside of Wakanda, but your mom died trying to save an outsider. He's the same thing I was trying to do. So you're going to be like your brother? You're going to be like your daddy? She was like, nah, I ain't nothing like them. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I thought you want to let this shit burn, basically. And when she leaves that ancestral plane, she comes out, she is a different female, bro. Like, she's ready to see the world burn. And if anybody notices, her Black Panther outfit is a mixture of T'Challa's and Killmonger's. So at any given moment, she can be like, hey, I can be that bitch, or we can do it this way.
Oh,
no, that's a powerful bitch.
Oh,
you gotta know how
okay.
to say it, brother.
Bitch, please.
You gotta have a good. Oh, Thanos, see, perfectly balanced like the world should be.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
100%.
Will, there's a way. Yeah.
You don't need to have
Right.
when there's a will, you'll make a way.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that was a dope line. One of the other, like I said, I guess we're only doing 3. If I had to bring up another line in the film, I mean, it was just like you say, they dropped so many freaking jewels, man. But I think Mathis brought it up earlier. It's not an important line. It was just, it came out of nowhere. He was like, no, it wasn't Baku. So what happens is Namor sneaks into, I don't want to call it sneaks. He was like Michael Phelps' great grandfather from Mount Olympus or something. He goes down like 1,000 feet and gets into Wakanda under the waterways. And then when the council is pissed off about this, and they got the 3 people from the border tribe there on trial. And M'Baku was like, I don't believe it. These 3, they should be ashamed of themselves. What would you have done, M'Baku? I would have got the fish, man.
Yeah.
He would be dead. He would be in front of us. I'd break all his bones. But the fact that he looks at them is like, they should be ashamed of themselves. Look at you. And then like the 3 guys bark back at him, and then M'Baku, he was like,
I felt bad every time being a white guy laughing at that, but
movies are forever. Movies don't see color.
It's tickling though, right?
In what kind of way, Dave?
To
A
see,
colorful way?
just to see a grown man bark like a dog,
Like a big dog.
a big dog.
So that's amusing you.
It tickled me. Laughter is involuntary, and and I was telling myself, don't laugh when he does that. You look like you voted for the wrong guy. And every time I'm like,
It's funny to me.
and then I heard you chuckling. I'm
You
like,
cannot speak here. One more word I feed you to my children. I'm just kidding. They're vegetarian.
all right, so we got scene stealers next. You wanna run the clip from the first Black Panther first?
I do. But how long is it? 'Cause I know we were probably arguing for 45 minutes. But how long is that one?
We get into it on this one.
I don't know how long is that one.
It is 25
And I
minutes.
think we're riding. I don't think we need the full 20. Can we just go to the last 10 of it? The last 5? I don't think we need all of it because I just feel like, how about we find out who it is and we come back live and tell them why we said it? Because I think we're much better at that now. I know you loaded it up and everything, man. I just don't think we need all of that.
All right.
Let's get into it and get back out of it. And guys, this is where you're going to put your scene stealers from the film and if you've seen it or who you want it to be, and then we'll come back and discuss it with you. Shot myself
And
in the foot on that too.
sharing the screen and scene stealers. Let's move on to scene stealers, who our best actors or actresses are.
So for the film, we had a star-studded cast. I mean, dude, you cannot make this up. I mean, when you really talk about this cast, goodness graciousness now. I mean,
I'll let you know. I've got 4 honorable mentions because I couldn't end the winners because I couldn't nail it down.
at the end of the day, he acknowledged like good move, Cusman, which I thought was a little cheesy. They're trying to wrap it up, but even me and you've done the research, and here's the thing: they were shortchanged. Now they were not shortchanged in the budget. Let's be fair to the film. The budget was $200 million.
They were shortchanged on time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And confines of the story, which is why Ava decided not to do the film. And like I say, F. Gary Gray, who did Fate of the Furious, had another project to do. So, but with that being said, they were shortchanged on time. However, I have to be honest. Like we both agreed that we did not like the final. The film was so significant and awesome up until the arc of the action at the end. Anything could have happened at the end, but we both agree that we don't like that. So
all right, so my next honorable mention is Letitia Wright. Her portrayal of Shuri is one of my favorite things about the movie, easily. The energy that she brings to the movie, it kind of brought me back to Patrice in Coming to America, like the sister.
Oh,
something about her reminded me of it was something about her character.
Why does she always get the good ones?
Like she was this beautiful vacation from all of the troubles that come with the plot you're following. You just kind of get to take a break and have these moments with her that are like, one, it humanizes everybody, but yeah, she was great. And then last honorable mention goes to Winston Duke as M'Baku. Just the way, I think if anybody else would have played that character, it may not have come out as well. Like the way that that character naturally progressed from somebody that was like not an enemy of T'Challa, but they were at odds to someone that ends up when he comes running in and saves the day like Ex Machina style at the end in the end fight scene.
Witness the power of the Jabari, and you. If you say one more word, I will feed you to my children. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm a vegetarian.
Number one though, if I had to give an award to one person, it would be Michael B. Jordan, because every scene he is in draws you in, because he has this he has this intensity, like, and I can understand why you feel,
so you understand
because
that. You understand
it's like
that.
real recognizing real. You bring that intensity, so you must feel like, why the hell am I not in his position? I recognize.
Well, I know why I'm not in his position.
But
I have a problem that I'm working on.
But can you disagree though? Like he is.
Oh no, he brought
every scene he's in. It doesn't. He just like it's again. It's like watching Heath Ledger in The Joker, where it's like, oh, this guy is in it.
Have you seen Kill?
I've seen it. Yeah, quite a bit of it. And
I just want to ask. Okay,
yeah,
so,
no,
okay.
I'm not making a comparison between Michael B. Jordan and Tarian Royal. I'm just saying that in Black Panther, he is easily, whenever he was on the screen, I found myself thinking, I wish this was just a Killmonger movie. And
I do like that. I do like that.
Which is
that would be dope. That would be dope.
Like he's such a great villain.
That would have to be
And I think just like with what Heath Ledger did with the Joker, the reason why the Joker was like revitalized with the Dark Knight is the same reason why Jordan's performance as Killmonger like made him such a great like fleshed out villain, where he was 3-dimensional. You felt like because he brought this human side of it when he was when the trauma that he felt as a child. You could actually see that he wasn't just playing this angry guy that wanted revenge like some 80s action movie. When he came with the anger and the animosity, you could still see the pain and passion in his eyes and like the real human side, that he was somebody that was hurting and lashing out. So that the way he brought that to life was amazing. And when you play a villain and convince the audience that you might be that you're the good guy or get them on your side, that's a great actor.
Hopefully I can say this and persuade you the other way, because this is where the beautiful part comes in. I've listened to all your arguments all night, and I don't disagree with what you just said. I'm not knocking with you. This is not a sarcastic twist. I'm using your own argument against yourself, because I want you to think about something. You're telling me that that at the beginning of the episode, you told me that a lot of people didn't like how Eric Killmonger was portrayed in. The same argument that the blogger says, where he says that the character was not fleshed out and they made him this militant. I somewhat say that sometimes you can't let your opinions shade what you're watching, because when we want to believe something, we watch for what we want to believe. However, at the very beginning of the movie, they show a child that, again, I mentioned this earlier, that his father got killed. His father was already teaching about the greatest place in the world while his son was living in hell. That's hard enough to deal with it on its own. Then tangle that with, you show up one day, you see this alien looking spaceship, which f***s your mind up. Like, nobody's talking about that. They're in Compton and you see a fucking alien spaceship. It's one thing to see a drive-by, but I just saw a fucking alien spaceship. Mm-hmm. Not only that, I go upstairs and see my daddy killed with claws that look like panthers. So say all that. Okay, fast forward. Now, the first time after that we meet Eric Killmonger, he is in one of the dopest museums ever, looking highly educated with these exact glasses on. So Marvel, save some money on the glasses you buy, and just hire me as an understudy at least next time. And these things are happening. But one of the top 10, one of the top 3 out of 10 dopest lines are mentioned in that scene alone. So when we meet Eric Killmonger as an adult, we're showed how educated he is with 90 seconds. So no one can tell me his character was not fleshed out, David, because he says, I didn't even put this in my book because I've seen it and I mentally memorized it a billion times. He says, you've been watching me since I came in here, but you're not you're not concerned about what you put in your body. That's a line for everybody that eats fast food and does all that crazy shit. You more so concerned about what I'm doing. You're not concerned about what you put in here. Then he educates the lady that works at the library. He was like, what's this? She was like, oh, this was discovered by British soldiers and Belize or whatnot, and blah blah. He was like, yeah, it was taken by British soldiers, but it's actually from Wakanda. She's like, excuse me? She's so offended. She don't even want to fact check this shit. This this bitch is so offended that some nigga is in her museum in some country that's not America telling her about some shit that she done went to school and paid $100,000 for. Let's just call it for what this is. This podcast is going to be honest. So she's so offended. She refuses to believe this shit. But he don't even get dismayed by that. What does he say? But don't worry about it. He dismisses how dumb the fuck she is because she can only sees color and says, don't worry, I'm going to take it off your hands for you. And in her mind, because for some reason, she elevates her mind. I'm thinking she's going to say, you think he finna steal it. For some reason, somebody taught her right along the way. She says, oh, it ain't for sale. Well, I really think she did was she don't want her ass beat no more. But she says, oh, this is not for sale. You're like, nah. And then he re-educates this for the second time. So she thought she done came back from life and rechecked herself. And he says, I'm going to take it just like the British soldiers took it. What you thought this was given to you, it was taken by British soldiers. So I'm going to take it back. Mm-hmm. So he educates her 3 times with her body, where it came from, and where it's going. Now help me out again, David. What's in her body, where it's going, and where it came from? Brother, that's past, present, and future. So what I'm saying is, don't tell me, black blogger, that his character was not fleshed out. He let his anger and his greed take over at the end of the day. I do this shit. I've seen every fucking Marvel movie, all 21 or 22 movies of the Infinity Gauntlet, several time. So while I will allow people to have their opinion, check me on the shit that I know, because I do this.
All right. So to be clear, the argument is never is Killmonger a fleshed out character. The issue that the blogger has is that it's the one character that Black America can identify with, and coincidentally, that's the villain.
That's incorrect. You don't think a bunch of America identify with T'Challa? Peaceful. Hey, I'm king of Wakanda. Hey, man, I'm king of my community. I ain't got to worry about everybody else.
And he says, you think T'Challa's letting you into his party? You ain't from there.
But that's what who said that? Now you know who said
That's
that.
the blogger.
No.
What?
Eric Hill, fucking Ulysses Claw said that. He said that while in interrogation.
But that's kind of T'Challa's. That's the establishment's way of looking at it. That's why they don't help anybody. He's like, oh, what do they do at the end of it? Set up a community center. Motherfucker, we already got community centers. You got the YMCA. That doesn't do anything. Make the change.
Let me ask you something innately, because we discussed a lot in life as friends and as filmmakers. But as a person, I've never asked you this from a film perspective, and as it's combining the two. While we both agree with Killmonger's perspective, and we at the end of the day, if we had to cast our ballot, we both are in the Killmonger crew. We both agree with that. With that being said, was T'Challa at the end of the day so wrong? Is he not a form of AI saying, because maybe they did show how smart he was, saying, listen, I've seen this before. It's the same thing with the Matrix. What did the machines realize? Humans were bad for themselves. Mm-hmm. Is not T'Challa a preemptive, a beta version of AI saying, I'm not king of everybody. I can only tell you what my facts say. That we don't fuck each other up, that we eat right, and that 25% of awesome is better than 70% of I don't know what the fuck happening.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking, brother. Now talk to me about that. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think T'Challa was on the right path, but I think Killmonger was already there. And then at the end was some politically safe compromise that fell closer to T'Challa. And then he goes to the United Nations and as exciting as that is for them to have the seat at the table, and United Nations has no idea what has even come to the table as far as how great they are. As awesome as that scene was, it's still this like you're compromising for the sake of what is it's. And I'm not talking about the story itself. I'm talking about a message that's trying to be sold by the producers, by Marvel, or by the powers that be that put this out. It's this it's kind of like a statist and status quo point of view, and be okay with that, and that's okay. But I think Killmonger's even as extreme as he was in the end, I think it would have been I still fall on his side of things. I don't think there should have been diplomacy.
No, I agree with you 100%. But I think we both also agree that I wouldn't have went as far as, like you say, when he choked the lady in the heart-shaped herb garden and did those things, say burn the garden. That shows of hate. It shows if you let rage control you, or if you let envy control you, that you lose sight of what it is. And so that's why I said at the end of the day, T'Challa cannot be understated. For as much as I agree with Killmonger and his ways, I don't agree with how he ended up, and I don't agree with how docile T'Challa was for most of the movie. I don't agree. His father was probably the perfect blend of what diplomacy was. I had to admit the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm sorry. You got to end on
so between Killmonger and what's your girl's name?
Without a shadow of a doubt, apologies to my pronunciation. Shout out to Dania Garuria. And I'm pretty sure I'm doing that wrong. Charge it to my heart and consumption this evening, not my appreciation and admiration for what you do. With that being said, if I had to choose between her and Michael B. Jordan, and I'm going to choose her, but that is not an indication of what Michael B. Jordan did. Even as an actor, you only can do so much to what your part allows. That Michael B. Jordan was not allowed the range that she was allowed. He was only allowed to play maybe a 2 or 3 dimensional role, which is, if you're a great actor, it's hard, but you can do it because you're committing to the role. And he's an actor that commits to the role. When I don't see you pop up on TMZ or Media Takeout every other day, I know you're somewhere committing to your role.
Is this coming from a completely unbiased?
100% correct, because you have to understand, I knew both of them, but prior to the Black Panther film, I knew her from The Walking Dead, and I knew him from The Wire.
Yeah,
when he first got his start.
She's not going out for any roles that you want in Hollywood.
Does not matter. At the end of the day, I may talk, but I still respect Michael B. Jordan.
All right. So
I'm sorry, but come on, bro. Was that not awesome? Come on, man.
I will give you this one, and because it's your pick this episode.
No, that's not fair. Now come on.
No. I
want this on the living wake. I want this on the living wake. I want all of this smoke on the living wake.
Next up, We are coming back to see. So, would you still choose Okoye over Killmonger today, or are you over your Michael B. Jordan boycott enough to admit that
Well, first
he
off, I don't
brought?
agree with that term because it sounds like boycotting, like boy picking cotton. So I never use the word boycott. I just say I'm not with something. But I'll say this. Yeah, I do. I'll be honest with you because at the time, my opinion was biased in my rivalry, my competitive rivalry with Michael B. Jordan. All jokes aside, I love healthy competition. Iron sharpens iron. He wouldn't be where he was at today without me. And so we gotta all keep lifting each other up. I'm not gonna be a crab pot, but I'll be honest with you. To be honest with you, I mean, all jokes aside, him playing Killmonger really put him into like one of the top 25 villains in film history for me. Now, I'm not talking about superheroes. I'm talking about villains. I did not see this coming. It's like he almost out-portrayed the character in the comic book. He brought him to life or some shit like that.
Yeah, you gotta give it to the writers because they did the same thing with this one. They did really complex villains that you could easily see their side. Like and actually, what happened with Namor, like the conclusion with him was he actually wasn't even a villain.
No,
like
he just wanted to protect his people.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. And he had a very good point in that film. He said, "Listen, since your son let them know about vibranium and got them looking for it, now it's affecting my people. So go find the scientists who knows how to build this machine. Bring them to us. We'll kill her, and we ain't never got to go to war. One life over billions." And I say this to this day. I'm just being honest. If it had not been a young black girl, I think they would have turned over. Because the council, you heard him, Baku was like, "Where's the scientists? Let's get this bitch over here." Basically, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
They didn't know it was a young child. So how can they have all these research outreach centers and things of that nature and then just turn over the girl? But I think they did give Namor a good compromise. They're like, "Listen, let us keep her in Wakanda. We're still not doing the Disney World tours yet. Nobody's going to be able to get into Wakanda. We'll keep her here."
Yeah.
So
I have two honorable mentions.
Oh, not four? You've grown so much since the first episode.
Fucking crazy. You want to do the honorable mentions, then we'll do the we have some chats too.
Let's do the chats and then go to the honorable mentions.
All right, so Mathis is okay. Actually, we got James first. He says Angela Bassett, Letitia Wright are tied for me. Bassett is such a powerful presence and has so many great lines. Can't argue.
I mean, just think about it. Like, she got beat on by Morpheus. How can she not be a great actress?
Yeah.
You never thought of it, did
No, I don't. She is so
Elegant,
timeless too. It's like that can't be the same person because she looks 7 years older than she does now.
Ramonda when in that limo when she took that shoe off and she bit, I was like, ah!
Mathis, Scene Stealer, Killmonger, and Shuri on the ancestral plane. What's up, cousin?
Man, a lot of people are giving that like a lot of buzz, and it was. And can you please find a goddamn shirt?
Yeah, I mean, well, we kind of talked about this in the car afterwards. That like that scene was still awesome, but you can kind of tell when you watch it that it was rushed. He didn't really
rushed. I just think
maybe not rushed, but
filmed separately from everything else. So
there was just a stark difference between the passion behind his lines in Wakanda Forever and you could just tell he had more time with the character to like really get into the character's shoes and like and feel like there's just. I didn't really feel what he was saying as much as the conviction really wasn't as there as much.
Look at it from this point that he probably didn't think he's ever going to see anybody again. I told you that, so you're like, "Oh shit, somebody came to visit me."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh shit, what's up, cuz?" And he said that too, like, "What's up,
cuz?" James says, Wright had a lot on her shoulders going from side character to lead, and she handled it like a champ. Yeah, can't argue with that.
James, not only side character to lead, but actually truly losing a person. This wasn't the story. Like, you truly lost a friend, a co-star, another thespian, like somebody, He
elaborates the change to her character from comedic relief to fully fleshed out heroine was really satisfying. She excelled in the more emotional scenes. And
James is the first one I've heard bring that point up.
She's one of my honorable mentions, and I'll just say that now because he's pretty much saying all the reasons why she's my honorable mention is. But she went from being the comedic relief in the first one, and even she still brought that in this one. My head,
I just told you my head was ashy. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be so small but appear so strong is a testament to her ability to perform.
And the shadow, like they kept saying they were going to recast Chadwick Boseman. It's like, well, you said Winston Duke was campaigning to be the main villain, but like James just simply said, and I'm rehashing what James is saying, but like, literally, James, out of the internet, online, you're the first person I've heard say that she literally did go from comedic relief, and she wasn't like slapstick funny, but it was like she was that comedic part of the first one, and now it's kind of like, dang, she showed what we've always talked about in mostly every episode we've done, the R word, range. Show me the range.
Yeah, she had it. And to channel what she was feeling in real life into the film, both like with losing Chadwick Boseman and channeling that, like the emotion and the sadness, the misery, but also like all the shit that she was going through with the protocols that were put in place with the pandemic. Like she was I feel like she was channeling a lot of that rebellion and like middle finger to the status quo.
Right.
That like there was just such a cool parallel between her reality and her character, and the way that she brought that to life on the screen was fantastic.
One of my honorable mentions is going to be Winston Duke, and I say it for the same R word. In the first one, we of course saw him as M'Baku. You know, he comes out all strong, understandable. So, and then out of nowhere, even in the first one, he makes you laugh so much you never saw that side of him coming. But on this one, after the queen is killed by Namor, he goes up to Shuri and says to her, "Your brother told me to be your protector and also offer you counsel." It showed a level of wisdom, and they start calling him Lord M'Baku in this one. You saw more that he was still royalty. They fleshed out his character a little bit more in this one, and I was like, he was able to do more. He became more. They built this character from the first Black Panther from the Infinity War Endgame, and you just saw he became. Even he says the line at in Infinity War, he says this will be the end of Wakanda. And then our girl Danielle Nagari says it will be the most noblest ending in Wakanda. So you see, like I say, M'Baku take it to another level in this one. He's not just all angry. He's just not. He's showing like he cares about Wakanda. So definitely an honorable mention for me. He was definitely, and not forget, I think that was vegan jerky. I don't know if that was beef jerky because remember he said he doesn't eat meat. But
I'll get on the Winston Duke in a minute, but Mathis said, the internet is forever. Oh, he's going back to the scene stealers from Black Panther. He says Rizzle's referring to the lady in the museum as a bitch, and that wasn't in the powerful way. Yeah, the internet is forever. Thank you, Mathis. In the video playback from the first TTFT video, I don't know if you guys were watching when you stepped away. Yes, thank you for clarifying. And then we got some dum-dum in the comments. T-Free727. We don't censor here, so we're gonna read this, but just it sounds stupid. Went to the same high school as Chadwick Boseman, still live in the same hometown. He lied publicly about our hometown. Nonsense lies. Claimed we had KKK rallies in Walmart parking lots. Race baiting. Liar. Good riddance. Just another juicy Smollett. Yeah, that's comments.
With that being said, we thank you for your comments.
He's just angry about how the primaries went. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's not a political show, but we allow all comments here, so thank you for that.
That red wave didn't happen, huh?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure maybe that rally didn't happen, but pretty sure some rallies have happened before, right?
We were in a red scare, not a red wave. They got it twisted.
What's that movie they buried of my guy here? The movie we did. Come on. You're almost there.
I'm not nearly.
Yeah, you are.
The movie that we did. We've done so many.
No, we didn't do that.
That lost somebody.
Man, they redid it. It was a recruiting tool, and then our guy came on and redid.
Oh, you're talking about Maverick?
No, guy, come on here. No, channel it with me.
The recruiting tool.
It was a recruiting tool for the KKK, and then it was remade.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
Sorry it took me so long. I'm usually much smarter than that.
Man,
but I've been drinking a little bit today. The poison. That girl is poison.
I don't care about politics. Enjoy the cookery, buddy. All right. Annie is on her way.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my sunshine gal.
My other honorable mention is Tanakh Hereta.
I almost believed it the first time. You wouldn't have.
Namor.
Oh,
I thought he was
definitely.
And again, I think that's also a testament to the writers, to crafting a really complex, cool villain that you can, that give somebody like him like range to actually play with and show.
What, have you seen something he's done before this?
No, and it said introducing in the
Now,
opening
that's
credits.
Introducing, well, shit, that might be one of the top 10 introducing performances ever.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying he was really like, he's up there. Marvel knows how to do some villains, man. I usually give the villains to DC. DC usually has the best villains, but damn, I mean, they've been doing good with some of these villains. Let me ask you this: Namor or God Butcher, Christian Bale, which one?
I haven't got to see God Butcher yet.
Oh, damn.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say Christian
James.
Bale.
I'll ask James. James, put it in the comments. Who better performance as a villain, Namor or Christian Bale as God Butcher? Let me know in the comments, guys. Mathis, if you've seen both. Internet's forever, fucker.
So, I don't think you answered. Is it Okoye or Killmonger for
No, I said Killmonger.
first one? Okay, so you do.
I agree because I said I was being biased before, but I have to be honest. Like I say, he's the top 25 villains of all time across film.
I heard you the first time. I just
I
wanted
know,
to.
oh, you sick son of a bitch.
All right, so Wakanda Forever, Scene Stealer.
Oh, what is Rick? Look at some Rick cam. Look at Rick over there.
Make him full
Dual
screen.
I give him a full black screen. I paid $97.84 off of Amazon for. He puts up a $2 poster from Walgreens. Don't you love him, guys? And he gave me the what was that, Family Feud?
Yeah.
100 people bought a blackboard. One used the white one. Rick.
All right, James has an answer for you. Christian Bale. Both were great performances, but both were what? Both were weak characters.
Are you talking about?
You talking about Namor?
Characters or the people that played the characters? Like we need. Man, give him the call in line.
I request elaboration.
Yes, please. Vision style.
I thought the characters were very. I mean, I can't speak on Christian Bale because I haven't seen that, but I thought Namor was a really, really interesting, complex character. Any bad guy that could just as easily be a good guy, depending on.
It's not easy to play both.
Yeah. To be, and he was very emotional. He was.
I know why he's doing Christian Bale. Everyone wants to be a hero until you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Oh, is that what you're doing to me, James? Here, don't fucking Christian Bale me here, okay, guy? Okay.
All right, so my scene stealer for Wakanda Forever is oh shit, no, my other
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I had one more honorable mention. Letitia. Oh, I already said Letitia, right?
You are sure.
Okay. So my scene stealer is Winston Duke because he was just awesome, and seeing him in
Us.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say us.
I was about he's got range, but it's not flaunted. He's very subtle in his range, but it's there. And he's just a very consistent character. And it was cool to see another, besides Letitia Wright kind of, I want to say she had it easy because she definitely didn't, but she's the lead. So you're more prone to empathize with her. You're following her the whole movie, but Winston Duke has to carry a little bit more of a burden to get you on his side, to get you to like him. He's one of the only main familiar faces from the first one that you see that have a big role in this one. And I don't know, just I like his character. I kind of wish they would have made him the villain because it would have been really interesting to see that turn of events. How they would.
Know if it won't happen. Remember,
he did challenge
with him. I am here to challenge.
Yeah, he's still up to his old shit.
I wish somebody had been like, "You got your ass whooped last time."
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys.
Oh, he's got a response here. Namor felt a bit too similar to Killmonger. Yeah. In his principles, I could see the argument for that, how they kind of took that template and ran with it. But I think they changed just enough in the backstory and I mean,
James, I'll challenge you on that because Namor had an army of people behind him ready to fight.
That's what I was going to say. He comes with this whole lore.
Yeah.
Killmonger just came from a broken home.
And let's not forget, guys, this is the first time, not in a Marvel TV show, but in a Marvel film, we get the M word.
Yeah.
Mutant.
Oh, yeah.
They finally fucking said.
Oh, and then, well, shout out to the one more favorite line. Are those purple? Are they purple? Is that?
No, I thought blue. He said blue.
The cops. Yeah. Are they blue?
Are they blue?
Yeah. That's what do we First I was what do we do with these? And we know how we feel about black people. What do we do with blue people?
They're blue. Black.
They're definitely not white though.
Right. So shoot or stun. Set it to stun. Set phases to stun.
Oh man, T-Free 727 is going to be on fire after that.
That's okay. So it's hell. It's dark as hell. It's hot.
So who's your scene? So
I mention first is going to go. I'm only going to give you two. Honorable mention first is going to. Well, first off, let me say this. The young lady who I don't know her name, and I apologize for this in advance, but the young lady who played Riri, I think Dominic Thorne.
Dominic Thorne.
I want to say this. I I felt like you were put in an impossible position. I felt like your story should have been fleshed out, and I hope they do it in Armor Wars with Don Cheadle, which was originally an MCU that's going to be a Disney Plus show. They're now making it a film. I hope your character and your talent is able to be fleshed out a little bit more in that, because I felt like they jammed you up in this. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy your acting. I'm just simply saying that I wish they would have showed your intelligence a little bit more. Yes, there's some key scenes that show your intelligence, but from everything I've read and everything I know about your character, you're way more brilliant than they portrayed. So not an honorable mention, but I'll just say that you're young, keep going, and I'm pretty sure there's some awards in your future. Now, honorable mention goes to Letitia Wright, and it's for all the reasons that James said. And I'll tell you why it's Letitia Wright. She was up against an unstoppable force, and I'll get to that in a second. But for her, again, like you said, to have to be a one type of character in the first film and then not really get any screen time in the film, like she's in freaking Endgame for all of them. Just as long as Howard the Duck is almost in Endgame. It's like 2 to 3 seconds more than Howard the Duck. And that's really not a joke, guys. He's really in. Spoiler alert, if you didn't really see him, he shows up right after Wasp. He's like down there, he cocks like this shotgun. Dope as shit, by the way. With that being said, Letitia Wright, and again, for all the reasons we've mentioned, so sweetheart, you're awesome. I love what you did. I don't need to rehash it. We love you for it. Scene Stiller, Miss Queen Angela Bassett. Look here, man. Look here. She showed that hurt, man. She lost her son. She lost her husband. She thought she lost her daughter. And they took all of that for her to say what she said to Okoye. You see her tell her this is Wakanda. Like that opening's monologue of her telling her, y'all think we weak because the king is gone? The king? Oh, you think the king? This ain't Elvis, baby. Hey, I don't know how y'all treat y'all king, but Wakanda ain't weak. Like, she had to step up. And she couldn't even be a mother. She had to be the queen of the entire nation. Yeah. And you saw her acting on display. And this is when, you know how we normally say, oh, we would have gave this person Scene Stiller if they would have made it through the whole film. Her acting was so powerful that I felt like she pushed the other actors and actresses' performances. That's why I say, I feel like Letitia Wright was up against a losing battle. Because if you're gonna lose, you lose Angela Bassett. Yeah. The ageless wonder. Yeah, if the nominees are Angela Bassett, anyone else is losing. Every single goddamn time. Yeah. Unless it's Pam Grier, who's already one of our Scene Stillers. That'd be a battle for the ages. That's right, a badass battle. Yeah. Jackie Brown, Queen Ramonda. Fight. So Angela Bassett or Winston Duke. Can we get a tiebreaker in the comments? What do you guys say? One or the other? James has something to say about Riri, which I did. I liked her performance. She was cool. Yeah. But I think she needs her own movie. I do too. I like Riri, or her own series. I like Riri more than I thought I would. My audience appreciated the Chicago flag in her dorm. Chirac. You didn't see that coming, did you? No. Because I did appreciate when our guy Nick Cannon did that. Make another movie make another kid for you. Make another movie. Nick. We don't even need a tiebreaker in there. I think you don't need one. I do, guys. Please, in the comments while we're here, we're going Angela Bassett, Letitia Wright, and go. All right, in the house, Rick. What do you? Who you got, Rick? Letitia Wright or Angela Bassett? Angela Bassett. Dominic. Yeah, see, that's what it's going to be. Angela Bassett. I rebuke my Winston Duke. I rebuke Duke. You rebuke the Duke? Yeah. Oh, man. Is that David Duke's son? All right, let's keep it going. So all right, so Angela Bassett, congratulations. You are the scene stealer. Of course you are. Of course. I said that anything the nominees are, anybody after that is going to be her. You want to run the fuck ups? We got 4 minutes of fuck ups. Guys, listen. Before he does this, if you think this show became where it is today just off of strength and just talent, you're 99% right. But for that 1% of the time that we're actually human, we fuck up, and so do you. Dave, roll that unbeautiful beam footage. Boom. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, we need to not be here. We can do it at the end, right? I feel like we're gonna forget. We're done. Might as well just get out the top. Considering what's about to happen, the ride's about to take place. Nothing. Yeah, you're right. Now, do you have faith in me that the rest of this is going to go okay? Yeah. Okay. Because I know you didn't have faith. I just wanted to have an insurance. World War II, quote, Tiger created. Okay. Okay. 3, 2. You didn't think I was going to get 2 out of 3, did you? Oh, no. No, you come on, man. You didn't think it. Come on. You thought I was slacking. I wasn't doing my research. You didn't expect me to have a book.
It's okay. You came to save the show, but I'm right here for you, brother. I'm good when it's time to go, man. Don't worry about what I'm doing the night before. It's the night of when I show up.
Truly amazing. I don't know how you do it. Second,
I thought we were going to discuss it as you said it.
Sure.
Hello, hold on, guys. That's my mom. Hey, mom, we got meatloaf. What's going on? I won't. Open the door, David. Hey, mom, come say hi. Come say hi to the show, mom. This is Mama Royal. No, come say hi. Come, you want to make the show? No, come say hi. Come do it now. We're going to be famous again. Come on.
I know it.
No. If you know it, come show your face. Come on.
Oh my God, you ready for?
Well, first off, I'm already picked. Stop telling people. Come on, now hurry up. Mama, come show your face. Hurry up. I'm not gonna stop you do it. Come on. Well, we'll fix it in post. Come on.
No, you won't.
You're right about that.
You and Dale will be doing the intercom.
Yeah, well, come stand between me and David. I just want you to come in and say that's the trailer. Come in and say that. Come on. This is Mama Roy, you guys.
That's the trailer.
Yeah, we get on. Stand in front of the camera and say it, right? Come on.
Which camera?
Well, there's only two right there.
That's the trailer.
All right, get out of here. Bye. Go. Get out of here. I'm working.
I want you to come in and I can't get my screen back on.
And
come on, Tari.
I'm working here. What are you doing?
I'm not even worried. We're crazy.
You interrupt the live broadcast. You wait till the night we do the show. Out of all the nights you come here, this is the night you come here.
Come on, get the thing.
I'm not. We'll have a break in a few minutes.
I can't wait that long. Come on, Tari.
Mama, come on. She's addicted to TV. Go figure. I wonder where I get it from. What do you do? All right, Jesus.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, whatever. All right, let's go.
I thought I heard Jason now.
Oh, well, that's what she said. Here we go. Jesus Christ. You see what I'm dealing with, guys? Mom's made the show.
Oh, that's good. I thought it was going to take a few episodes before we got that magic.
I know you better not have your own face.
What are you doing?
No, I've got an actor.
Oh, you're doing honorable mention. I'm sorry. So next honorable mention. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So my next honorable mention is Letitia Wright. Her portrayal of Shuri is Shuri.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my favorites.
3, 2, and go. Dania Garari.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, sweetheart, if I'm mispronouncing your name. Just know that I love you, your craft, and if you could just be one of our subscribers, I promise you, I will reach my fruition. Damn it, we're not recording. That was my love message, sir. Damn it. 3, 2, 1. Microphone, headphones on, and sorry here. Let me use it. There we go. 3, 2. So, don't.
It's all on film.
Is it on film still?
Oh yeah, we're live. This is dead air.
Here you go. I was just fucking around, kids. Professional. One take Tony, baby.
Hey,
One take Tony.
before we get into, man, you come so far
That's what she said.
in the wrong direction.
Never heard that.
Before we get out of Scene Stealers, little note here: Namor. Some actors were considered for him were Michael Phelps, Daniel Day. Michael Phelps. I mean, come on, really?
I thought you were joking.
Oh, Daniel Day Kim, Brian T, Dwayne Johnson, and David Buren.
I saw Michael Phelps swimming through the fucking ocean. Not only would I hate the word, I'm using it now. I boycotted this film. You know what I think about when I saw Michael Phelps swimming through the ocean? Fucking merman,
Yeah.
merman, fucking Zoolander, fucking Ben Stiller going through the fucking ocean. Like,
You know,
Phelps, is that an actor?
Dominic Thorne, Riri, she originally auditioned for the role of Shuri back in Black Panther.
She was too young.
I'm just reading what IMDb says, man.
But that's 50% right. Man.
And then Daniel Kaluuya was set to return as Wakabi, but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts with Nope.
They still, he's and to be honest with you, like I say, talking about one of the stronger performers acting wise from the first film, he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking about it, but he was a badass motherfucker in the movie Widows. You talking about serial killer-esque? If you ever get a chance to watch that, check out this performance in the movie Widows.
Widows.
With Viola Davis and Liam Neeson.
Okay.
If I say so, right?
Mhm.
You'll put it on the list?
Yeah.
with Goodfellas, huh?
Think
Audience, how do you feel about Durden never seeing the movie Goodfellas? He hosts a film show, and I know this is totally off topic here, but I just, in my conscience, I go to sleep every night saying they're going to call us frauds when we make it because they're going to find out you never watched Goodfellas.
I told you, I lean into the obscure. Once more than 250,000 people are talking about it, I lose the taste for it.
So that's what happened with you in the Bible.
Lean on it, probably. Nah, that ain't for me.
I'm on fire.
Is that David Duke's son?
1738.
Do you get that reference?
Which one?
Oh, Winston Duke. Is that David Duke's son?
I was being funny because David Dukes is the the whole. Oh,
What?
I don't want to do it. Never mind.
Oh, you don't now? You don't want to do it?
No, not now. I'm glad you don't have that queued up. All hell J. All hell J.
So we got coming up. We got room for improvement. What we would have changed about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I haven't really thought about this that much.
I have. I'll go ahead and start. You guys can put it on there too. James, I know you love the Riri, and that's why I brought it up earlier. Like, again, to me, you got to understand this. Like, it's always been built up. Like, again, if Tony Stark was one of the most beloved characters, the next time we saw anything that was going to reference Tony Stark's tech, and again, I think Armor Wars is going to be a dope film. I'm glad they took it from a TV show to make it a film instead of doing the TV show. It's just like, yeah, you could have mentioned Riri in this one. You didn't have to make her the scientist that made the vibranium machine, the vibranium detector machine. You could have had anybody. You could have brought fucking Eric Selvig back. We could have lost him. We've seen him 7 times in like 6 Thor movies, whatever. Kill Selvig. Get his ass out of here. I don't need him anymore. But with that being said, like freaking Riri, I just felt like I didn't need that. Like, you're already world building here. You never want to introduce too many new elements in of a film. And so you're building a world with Namor. We got to accept that. Fine. I'm cool with that. You could have stopped right there. But now you're bringing in Riri. You're saying the word mutant for the first time. We're dealing with Chadwick Boseman's death and the Black Panther's death, the story rights. At a certain point, no matter how talented you are, too much is just too much. And I feel like I'm not even putting this on Ryan Coogler. I'm putting this on Marvel knew where they wanted to go before Chadwick Boseman died, and Ironheart and Riri was always supposed to be a part of this film. So they still had to somehow keep that storyline in there. But my thing is this film was so good, it could have been a standalone film. It was almost there. I would change mentioning Riri somewhat, like maybe hinting she might have been the scientist, but I didn't need all of that. And again, James, I agree with you. I liked it, but her first suit, I'll give you credit. Her first suit reminded me of if you've ever seen Pacific Rim 2, where the girl built the Jaeger out of the parts from the recycling places, stealing parts and all that stuff. That was dope. And then we saw her second suit, but that second suit, like, man, we saw her like playing on the freaking Tony Stark board for like the Minority Report board for like 10 seconds, and all of a sudden we got the suit. Don't do that girl like that, man. That girl is freaking brilliant. We should have saw her, you know what I'm saying? Like they let Tobey Maguire make his suit in Spider-Man. There's been a lot of Homecomings, Homeroom, all that other shit. I think it's the third one. They show him making this suit. Let this girl, this young black queen that's in Boston doing papers for people at MIT, should let us see. It better happen in Armor Wars, goddammit.
I think
you better let me be in the goddamn movie.
I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I think it's forgivable because of that. They had to they're already working with a 3-hour film with what they had to course correct for T'Challa's death and figure out how to go about that, and then pretty much reintroduce the whole world without T'Challa and where things are. They're introducing a new villain, which James actually brought up. He said that he didn't get into Namor as much as Killmonger because I felt like his intro and backstory was rushed. And I say the same thing to him that I say to you about Riri, is that, like, what more did you want them to do to introduce her? Okay, but she had to be established as this person for future reference, right?
They've established. You've seen film your whole time. You can establish James Moriarty in the first Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. was established in the first one, but he wasn't fleshed out until the second one, and it paid off. Yeah, that's what we saw as cufflinks. We saw like little hints of. Just give us, like, we know who. Okay, we see what you're doing there, but we didn't need all. You gave me two. Don't do that. I didn't need to get all. I didn't even have to eat all the Cracker Jacks to get the prize. It's not fair.
I'll give it to James. Like, he's offering, like, okay, so he wants more backstory to Namor to feel that character more, and you could have got more backstory with Namor if you avoided the subplot with Martin Freeman and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Really
could have been taken out. I
James
mean,
said that?
yeah, but that goes back to though. But you take out that little relationship dynamic, and they really, if you think about it,
Oh, they had a little something
they
special going
they
there.
probably spent about 90 seconds.
No, in fairness to them, that could be a Marvel series.
But I'm saying like you're gonna gain 90 seconds cutting out that dynamic, and you're gonna lose the power of that moment in the kitchen when she turns on him.
And
It's like
puts the cuffs on
she's
that
been
fucker.
she's been acting a certain way, casual with him, like, oh no, we're just we're
Jayla's
exes.
calling in, just like all the time. Yes, we're live, Jayla. How may I help you?
So I
Oh, she knows she's live. That's why she's calling me. Oh my God. You all want to put you on speaker? You want to say anything?
I don't have anything to say.
That's
Wakanda forever. That's all I have to say.
love you, big mommy.
but yeah, I think you take out
The second best actor in his family.
if you take out that
Oh, Jesus.
their relationship between Martin Freeman and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, you lose the impact of that moment at the end. I think that was worth it.
But yeah, we didn't need that. But I'm saying, and I agree with them. But I just, again, James, just like you felt Namor to come back on what David just said. If they take out, I would say, if they take out Riri's story a little bit more, we can flesh out Namor's story a little bit more, and you wouldn't feel this rush. I agree with you. They were showing us these one-take scenes. Oh, we took the herb. I was the first one that come out of my mom's stomach. I got winged feet. Like I said, some of that should have been delved into a little bit more. I agree. Then David hated the winged feet. I love the Mario.
I didn't hate the wing feet. I absolutely loved them. I thought they were adorable.
That's satire, you sick son of a
Speaking
bitch.
of suits or whatever
That's the
costumes,
feds? Where?
cosplay, James says I liked Riri's first suit better than the second one. The CGI one was questionable.
Oh, now speaking of that, tell us about the Neo effect, David. The Matrix Neo effect.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. That's the thing that I would change. That's my one room for improvement is stop going full CGI on human bodies until you can
Green
perfect
Lantern.
the movement and the physics of a skeleton. And I've seen it done before, but I don't understand how movies that are just coming out now are still falling into the same traps that Matrix Reloaded did more than 15, 20 years ago.
Green Lantern did it about 12 years ago.
You get like Rubber Band Man. And what there's the one
not
part
CI.
where
That's what I did.
Shuri is in the suit. She goes full CGI in the suit. And they didn't even, it's like, why'd you even need CGI right there? All she's doing is walking towards Namor on the desert. Like, just have her in the suit walking towards Namor. And there's probably some pandemic like protocol shit where they couldn't be there together.
You know why, Dave? Because earlier in the very first Marvel film, when they did Tony Stark, they did practical and CGI when they first show him. James knows the scene I'm talking about here. When the first time the full Iron Man outfit is complete, he's maybe 25% practical and the rest is CGI, but it's meshing so well together. And you should never just do full CGI is what we're trying to say.
I'll give them this though. That janky CGI in Wakanda Forever in that one little tiny moment was far better than that final, just completely missing the Hail Mary at the end of Black Panther when they fought on the train tracks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's like Black Panther was awesome. They tied the game at the end, best game ever, and then they missed the fucking extra point or some shit. It was.
But I don't even want to shit on that because they were working with so much less than what a normal Marvel movie had when they did that one.
But less is more.
Less time, less money though, and but on the flip side of that, we have seen independent filmmakers do a shit ton with nothing. Rick is I've been on Rick for this whole time. We're seeing it real time.
Rick, talk to us. What's going on? I'll translate.
Drawing.
Okay, if you couldn't tell from that. And let's go to the comments.
Mathis is fucking with me. Tell Durden to get his shine box.
Oh, Goodfellas reference. He wouldn't know that. That's why he's not laughing, Mathis. Get it? Spider?
What are you doing?
I'm embarrassing you in front of the movie world.
You up?
Oh,
that comment was thick. Yeah, so that's what I would change. And one thing that I'm really happy about that I'm glad they changed is no more war rhinos. They got the war whales, but the war whales made sense. The rhinos.
Notice it got real quiet in those underwater scene with the big sea creatures. Other than those batteries not being in Chucky's back, big sea creatures scare me like the second scariest thing to me in the world. It's not cops in America. It's big sea creatures and little dolls with no batteries in them that heads turn around. That's what scared me.
It's effective. What the fuck is the point of war rhinos when you have vibranium powered jets?
And yet again, cameo from the elephant from Coming to America. Hello, Babar.
James says it's okay. I've never seen Goodfellas either. That is
that's okay.
It's more
for
forgivable.
You, James,
yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
Okay, James is like, what's a movie that James? I don't know. Your generation's great. I don't know.
it'd be like you're not seeing Empire Records. Tell me you've seen Empire
That's
Records.
no, that's our generation still.
Is it?
Yes.
Damn.
What the
Okay.
hell's wrong with you?
I'm old.
Oh, school.
Can't help when I was born.
Our mom says our dad's a real sex machine.
Annie should be pulling up any minute now.
This boy still laughing over there. See, I got to laugh out of Rick. Hey, I knew someone was going to get him.
Is that Kindergarten Cop?
It is. Look at you. Oh, you saw that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. It's not a tumor.
Oh my God.
So, all right, room for improvement. All right, I had. Okay, he's James. I have seen Empire Records, but it's been a while. Say no more, Monet more.
Say no more.
You want to play the room for improvement? What we wanted to improve about Black Panther?
Yes. What is the time on that?
The time on that is 9 minutes.
I love it, guys. So, any room for improvement on the first film or the second film or something you could have been thought different? You got 9 minutes to watch us and put your own thoughts in there. We'll come back, talk to you. And this is going so awesome, isn't it? Tell a friend or tell an enemy. We don't care.
Next up, we have room for improvement. So, if you could change one thing, what would that be? That's what we're asking ourselves. And you want me to go first?
Yeah, please.
All right. So, and this is my problem with most action movies. They time things to make the character more badass when they're supposed to look badass, and it's this unbelievably convenient timing that would almost, the odds of it happening in reality are just so astronomical that the scene becomes distracting because all I'm thinking about is how this is not realistic. And what I'm talking about is the moment. Everything about Killmonger is awesome, but one of his setup scenes in the art museum when he tells the art director or the curator, whoever she is, when he tells her that you're not even worried about what's in your drink. The moment that he says that, she goes into like, at that moment, he timed it perfectly from the time he put poison in her drink to the time that he told her that there was poison in her drink for it to begin taking effect at that moment. That was purely done to just for the badass effect of it. But in like most movies, when they do that, it's done so obviously, and it's just poorly written. I don't have an alternative for how they should have done that. Maybe they should have left that part out, went a little bit subtle with it. But if I could change one thing, that would definitely be the thing, because it took me out of that element of this is deeper than an action film. It was the one time that I felt like, did Jerry Bruckheimer do this?
That means quick cuts. And here's the beautiful part about our show. We've been debating, agreeing, disagreeing the whole show. But when it comes to the subject of one thing that we could have changed, this is our show. We're sponsoring it. We're producing it. We're cutting it. We're editing it. We're filming it. We're acting in it. So we do what we want to do. So what I'm not going to do is disagree with anything he said. That's his premise. And I love that you put your heart out on that, because I don't want any smoke from what I'm about to say. If I can change one thing, and you have to understand, I wanted to change that ending fight scene so bad. Oh, I wanted to change it way down. Shout out Office Space. Way down. If I could change one thing, I normally don't like to read from the script, but I want to make sure that I don't miss anything here. On behalf of every thespian, actor, crew member, artist, and poet, and crew member, craft services runner, on behalf of every person that's ever taken their job seriously, if I could change one thing about Black Panther, I would change how ignorant Terry Gilliam was. A name I associate with the word Voldemort, a name that shall not be mentioned. The 12th, or should I say the 13th monkey, no pun intended. To quote the so-called filmmaker, writer, producer, Terry Gilliam, I'll put my resume up against yours any day while you may have more notoriety, I'm sorry for my drinking, because clearly that's what you were doing when you gave your IndieWire review. And go check it out, guys. Even I won't be as ignorant as he was, as I can control myself. But I would put my IMDb up against yours any day of the week. You have more notoriety. Still can't pronounce it, but maybe you can pronounce excellence when you see it. So maybe I was doing it on purpose because I'm such a method actor. I would like to provide the community of the world with a few quotes from the so-called director, actor. I'm sorry, let me take that back. He doesn't deserve that. Director, writer, I don't know, whatever they call this guy. Quotes from the IndieWire review regarding Black Panther. Quote number 1, I hated Black Panther. If you want to look for the action verb in that sentence, the action verb is hated. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. I'm willing to accept that. It's some movies I hated. I get it. District 51, yeah. I've hated a lot of freaking movies. Or What's the Worst That Can Happen? That movie.
Anything with Katherine Heigl in it.
Yeah, Vanilla Sky. You get it. So I get
No,
whatever. Season 2. Stop.
Okay.
Season 2. You're gonna have to sell me on that. Oh my gosh, you turned so red. So with that being said, that was one quote. I hated Black Panther. If I can continue with quote number 2, watching this movie made my blood boil. Okay. Then the questions start. See, worse than statements or questions, the statements start, which are, I wonder whether the filmmakers even went to Africa. If that ain't the Caucasian kettle calling the pot black. And this one, just when I was ready to just dismiss this as clickbait, the quote of 2020 came, and it wasn't even in 2020 when he quoted this. Out of everything that's been f***ed up with 2020, this is the quote. Black Panther gives young black kids, which he's an expert in on speaking on, by the way, the idea that this is something to believe in. It's bull, utter bull. And right when I was ready just to send some tweet, which is like 100 and some odd characters, I couldn't even get done with my tweet before I found this part, thanks to that algorithm that shall not be mentioned. They went and got some stylists for some African pattern fabrics and things. But I just hated that more. Partly because here comes the back step, because he know they're f***ed up. The media was going on about how important this bullshit was. And guys, those are quotes. Those aren't opinions. Those aren't Facebook algorithms. Those aren't Instagram ads that you didn't ask for. But let me help you out real quick in my response to those things. Remember when he said they went and got some stylists? See, here's the thing. Out of all the bullshit that has happened to me in my life, at the end of the day, I still can put aside all that bullshit and still be a thespian and still respect art and, artists and actors and actresses for what they believe in, even though 95% of sets are Caucasian or some color that is not mine. I still love the art so much that I can still appreciate people who are at least trying to do what's right. But when people are just being innately evil, that's what this show is going to do. We're calling you the out. Let me tell you what he meant and what discredits every thing Terry the you thought you were better than anybody that looked like me or put up a pin in their life Gilliam said. Let me tell you how I know he's just not that guy. Remember when he said they went and got some stylists? Let me tell you the films and shows that the stylist has worked on. He couldn't even mention her name. This 79-year-old plus could not mention her name. Just say her name. Shout out Breonna Taylor. Miss Ruth Carter, which takes 30 seconds to IMDb, has been a part of the following entities: Black Panther, Dolomite Is My Name, Malcolm X, Amistad, Yellowstone, Four Brothers, I Spy, Baby Boy, Money Train, Corkland, Jungle Fever, and a little show that you know called Seinfeld. You ever notice how some white guys, Caucasians, I don't know, who've never been in the community that looks like mine, can pass judgment on a show? It's kind of funny, is it not? So Terry Gilliam, if I can change one thing about Black Panther, is that you never saw it, because your opinion doesn't matter, unlike all lives.
In Terry's defense,
you have defense for this? Really? You want to do this?
Okay. I just didn't think you were fired up enough. I wanted to throw a little match real quick.
I did not want that to happen for us tonight.
That's yeah. Terry Gilliam. Hashtag cancel Terry.
Cancel Terry, you fucking bigot.
Man, that hurt so bad.
Did you know all that I just said?
I mean, I knew part of it, but no. Man, he did Heath Ledger's last movie, 12 Monkeys. Like,
why do you think he signed on for that?
No comment.
Thank you. I'll make mine
Not
out
from this
later.
guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Cole and I are going to be quiet.
Everett K. Ross showing out tonight.
Next up, we have mute.
So with time comes wisdom, and I just want to take this moment to say that those words you just heard from me, I still 110% stand by. Thanks to you, Dave. Go.
James said Royal just verbally deleted this guy's existence. Mathis said, well said, Royal. And then he's laughing at it. It's a real movie, Mathis. Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt. He's in my chair.
And in fairness, like, I don't just counsel people to counsel people. Listen, if you know me and you've seen this show, we don't judge by credence, religion, whatever. Just don't do weird shit to kids, and don't just hate people because how they look. And we generally will listen to what the fuck you got to say.
Yeah.
But when you say stuff like the movie make my blood boil, as if like, really? What about Schindler's List? How'd that do you?
Yeah.
That should have made your blood. It's like, come on, like, really? American History X, Roots. Birth of a Nation, but this made your blood boil. What the hell is going on, Terry? You got Creed's blood.
Checking in on Rick's progress, and then somebody just stopped by, a familiar face.
Hey, Dave up.
What the fuck's up, internet? I missed y'all.
This is Annie, everybody. Hello, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Working
for the weekend.
Working. Missing being with everybody out here.
So let me ask you this. You haven't seen the film yet. Let me ask you this, though. What were your thoughts on the original Black Panther?
As far as...
Just whatever your thoughts are on it in general.
My thoughts were, it was a very in-depth, like, emotional, as far as, like, losing... what was his name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman. And just the way that they portrayed their history, their culture, and the way that it impacted them so much. That's what I like. It hit me like that because the culture.
It was a very, and again, David, when you weren't here, but David mentioned this earlier. He was mentioning how most films don't have to deal with losing their title character as well as the actual character, person, human being in life. So that's one of the things with Black Panther 2 coming out that I thought was going to be one of the bigger challenges, and you guys can speak about it in the comments, which is that, again, you have to now do this film with most of the pieces off the chessboard, but you still got to play the game.
Yeah. And I seen the trailer. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Like, I had goosebumps, and I was like so excited how you guys were depicting how it was comparable to DC.
Yes.
And Aquaman.
You know more than David now. Look at that.
But listen, because I liked the way that it portrayed them underwater. Yes. And I liked how you brought up the fact that they incorporated Iron Man as well.
Yes,
and so. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see the movie.
And
very.
Even though we've talked about it today, I feel like even though we've talked about the movie, people who haven't seen it, when you go see it, you'll still, even though with everything we said here today, take your own experience back from it and your own opinion. You can come back and comment on the show at later times. But Dave, can you come check out some of these comments? I think we got some comments of brewing down here. I'm gonna move out of my seat. Dave, you come. You can. Andy, you come over here.
Okay.
Yeah, you sit there.
You want me to go this way?
Yeah, you go this way. I go that way. Rush hour.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Roll call.
Here.
I am laughing at when Rizzle, not Royal, said, why do you think the guy signed on to 12 Monkeys? All right.
That was pretty good. That's one of my best ones. Keep that one, man. Keep that one.
You've seen Black Panther, right?
Yes.
What did you think about Black Panther?
Like I was telling him, how it depicts the culture and the way that the death of their king and Black Panther, how it impacted them as a whole,
What would
and how they
you,
still had to come together and take care of protect their city.
if there was anything that you would change about the first Black Panther, what would you change?
For one, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have gotten thrown over the waterfall. And for two, huh?
He never yielded.
I saw that. He's like, he never got yielded. And then two, I want more of the sister. That's why I'm so excited to see this one, because
You definitely get your Shuri worth in
Yes.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Man had to die for a
Yeah,
woman to
she
get the
was-
lead role.
She was so involved in interrogating the weapons and all that technology stuff, and I'm really excited to see her.
Yeah. Let's see. World, you got any other questions? I'm drawing a blank.
Hit
No,
me,
no,
hit
I got
me.
questions here. So, what's one thing, since you haven't seen the film, what's one thing you hope to see out of the film? Or did you get this asking that?
What I hope.
What do you hope to see out of the film?
Besides more Shuri, what do you hope to see out of
What do I
Wakanda
hope
Forever?
to see out of the film? Well, as far as looking at the trailer, I mean, all my hopes and expectations, they're going to be hit. They're going to be at the mark, because that trailer actually gave me goosebumps. I'm so excited to see this movie. And I want some more spoilers. So I got questions.
Okay. Well,
I have a lot of questions, actually.
What question? Well, actually, we'll play the fucks given from Black Panther, and then come back to the review of Wakanda Forever and questions and Rick's final.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get through. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me get this queued up. We got that, and I'm gonna go full screen. And here comes fucks given. The very first fucks given on TTFT. Black Panther. Huh? The review. Next up, we have the final segment. Given. We are going to give the film 1 out of 5. Does it get 1? Does it get a handful of? A whole fistful of? You might say. Let's find out.
Well, for me, if I have to give a given, what I would give this film, all in all, I would say I fucks with this film hard. I give them a very erect middle finger, David, because of the fact that what I didn't want was too many compromises to be made. And to me, while the film could have been better artistically, for what they were given and what was accomplished and the phenomena that came from it, even me and you doing this show right now, it reached its masses. We're still talking about a standalone film from over 3 years ago that still resonates today, that still has so many subliminal messages in it. So you were given a marginal budget. You were told what you could not step outside the line on in the coloring book. Yet we have at least 10 to 15 quotes that are super dope that resonate outside of film. To me, I super fucks with this film. Two. I only got 2 hands.
2 out of 5.
Well, no, not 2 out of 5. No.
What do you got out of 5? That's what we're doing.
2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've done a lot of in my life. So, out of 5, I give it 4.5.
Okay. Damn, you're gonna maybe make a graphic of a half middle finger. All right.
I told you that.
4.5. All right. All right. So I want to preface this with saying,
He's finna say some bullshit. Now, I'm not racist, but
for a comic book movie, I think I could only give any comic book movie 3
okay,
max.
Okay.
So I give this one 3 I give it 3 out of 5.
But if you had to dive inside the realm of a comic book genre, out of 5, what would you say?
Well, I can't, because here's all right. So I say what I think is great about it is the fact that, like you said, it's a standalone. It stands on its own. It's a standalone movie. Like when I watched it, especially with the ending, with the United Nations ending, it felt like an awesome extended pilot episode to what would be the making of an intriguing series. Like, and the way it has that perfect climax into that the cliffhanger. So it goes from
when he
this,
tells them that they're gonna open themselves up, their technology to the rest of the nation.
Yeah, they close out the story in Black Panther really well with the climax, and then they go into that cliffhanger at the United Nations where it's like they're setting up this awesome series of events that's going to transpire. Like, it felt like a great pilot episode. But then, like, even with that, I'm watching that, and I remember being excited when we saw it in the theater, and then getting excited again. But it was a bittersweet excitement this time, because this time it was like, well, they can't do anything that whatever they were writing or had in mind when they did that scene and ended it like that, they can't go that route anymore, because reality has changed what their options are, unfortunately. And so, like, even with the thing that made it so awesome to me, it comes with this like bittersweetness, because you see the potential of what they were setting up and immediately realize that, like, I'm still intrigued by what they're going to do with part 2, because there's an opportunity there for them to do something very interesting. But I would have really loved to see where T'Challa's story was going to go from part 1, how they set it up.
Speaking of that, I just want to, as we wind down, and that's one of the things that sometimes we have to cherish. You've heard the line, people never get the flowers while they can still smell them. And I want to just say that I empathize with him, why I can't sympathize with him. When you got to play characters like James Brown, Jackie Robinson, and T'Challa, like, dude, your resume, like, I mean, who's putting their dick on the table and saying I played these people? Yeah. Like, even Denzel, while you played Malcolm X, but I mean, outside of Malcolm X, there's a couple, like, you were in Roots. I'm not Roots. I applaud Glory and all these other things. Like, but like, just if you 3 standalone movie, I was T'Challa, King T'Challa, James Brown, and I was Jackie Robinson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, T'Challa out. I'm out. Like, Boseman out. Salute, brother. Hey, listen, my resume, real does recognize real. I can only hope one day for my resume to be there as an actor. Like, and those are the things that I have to say, that even though as great as an actor he was, from all the research I've done for Chadwick Boseman, he was a better human being. And that's, to me, that's dope at its finest, man.
So real quick, before we just wrap it up with what we're doing next week, what do you think they're going to do with part 2?
That's not a tricky question, it's a direct question. But I will add on, what do I think they will do and what they should do? Okay, what I think they will do is, I think they will push the story back and while the Black Panther story was meant to lead the second phase of not phase 4, but phase 4 and phase 5 of Marvel, because they have different phases. If you didn't know that, most comic book fans know that they have different phases. So while that's not going to happen anymore, because remember, Chadwick never does. There's only 2 people that knew Chadwick had what he had medical wise. There was his agent, and of course there was his girlfriend. Outside of that, no one else knew, or no one else was privy to the information. So he signed that deal, or no one that's not really out there is just getting out. He signed the deal with Marvel even in the first film, when he knew he was diagnosed with what he had. So when you ask me what is he going to do,
they were in the middle of writing part 2 when he died, right?
Correct. Okay. Correct. The storyline was somewhat big. They hadn't even started filming. 100% correct. Thank you, y'all. The research is correct. So with that being said, what do I think they will do? I think that they're going to push Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn. I think they're going to push Thor: Love and Thunder, and I think they're going to push these other entities into the film that are already happening, to figure out where they want to go with Black Panther.
Well, what about Fantastic Four?
See, here's the thing with Fantastic Four. That's been rebooted at least 4 or 5 times. No franchise has been more rebooted than Fantastic Four. You got like the 80s version. You got the Reed Richards version. I'm not Reed. The one we got when we were kids, and then you got the one with Michael B. Jordan yet again, which is why I don't like characters playing the same character. But with that being said, what I want them to do, I want them to be true to what we've talked about tonight. And because follow the storyline, what I think they should do, and if they follow this, I want some credit. Marvel at least bring me in, fly me and my best friend in to help you guys save some money and some time on guys who know what the they're doing. What they should do is they should follow the story arc of when Shuri becomes Black Panther
In the comics.
in the comics. However, the full film should not be based off of that. What it should be, 40 to 60% first part of the film should be spent on T'Challa passing and them trying to find the next man to be the next Black Panther. So while all this is happening, Shuri is saying she does not want the throne. She doesn't want any of these things. But while this is happening, while they're going through the same battles we saw from Wakanda 1, for them to find out the next Black Panther, they're attacked. They're attacked by the city of Atlantis, which in Marvel lore is when Namor and the city of Wakanda go to war. Atlantis and Wakanda go to war. And so what I'm saying is, if you look at the Avengers Endgame, there's a line to where Okoye says, what Black Panther, no, I'm sorry, Black Widow says to Okoye, we've seen some rumblings of an earthquake under the sea. How are we handling that? And Okoye says, Nat, we handled it by not handling it. Yet again, Rain saying we're going to be smart about this. But what she's referencing is the city of Atlantis, which is Namor. So what I would like to see is they do the misogynistic thing, saying we need another man to be king. I want to see Shuri not want that mantle to, because my brother was here, she's still mourning her brother. So give me half of the movie of them picking someone. Then right when they're going to pick someone, Atlantis attacks. And because of Shuri's intelligence, maybe that's when they fully recognize her intelligence and she takes over the mantle as Black Panther. It's someone we know is paying homage, and it's not saying, hey, guy up next, aka Jared Leto, you got to play this role that somebody loves. I don't want anybody to get Jared Leto, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. That's exactly who I had was the sister. I think that's the most logical explanation. Yeah.
Okay.
So hey, we can end it on a total agreement.
Yeah.
Fucks given. Yes, fucks given.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We're going to check these comments right here. Dave, what do we got in the comments?
James, out of all the Phase 4 MCU movies, Wakanda Forever was the one I was most nervous for. And while the movie isn't perfect, I feel like they accomplished what they set out to do. He also says, honor and pay respect to Chadwick while furthering the developing the characters and world of Wakanda. Yeah.
So that was one of the things we talked about, that we would like that they established the city more. We saw more of the inner outer workings. We saw Haiti. They brought Haiti into the film. Like
they had a lot to
Chris
cover.
Rock said, not Haiti, Haiti, like Haiti.
They had a lot to cover, and to do nearly a 3-hour movie, a standalone film, and make it like compelling throughout the whole thing, and and it was essentially like a brand new movie because they had to start over.
I was going to correct you and say, no, it's not a standalone film, but Marvel speaking, it is, because really, other than mentioning the Hulk or Tony Stark and stuff like that, they weren't connecting worlds and trying to like set up like, hey, this is Wakanda, man, and Namor.
James continues, says Multiverse and Love of Thunder were fun, but he never got the urge to revisit them after they were done. But this movie he'll watch at least one more time in theaters. I honestly think it'll be better than the first. He gives it a 4 out of 5. So just to recap with Black Panther, you gave it a 4.5. I gave it a 3. I took off 2 points purely because it was a Marvel film. This one, I will tell you, I won't deduct those 2 points because it did not feel like a Marvel film. They stuck the landing so well that I felt like it transcended Marvel films. Where does that leave it? I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out. What do you think?
Like James said.
Wait, hold on. Let's check in with Rick real quick.
Which one? No, is he speaking English or Spanish?
Let me mute him again. Rick, we lost Rick. All right.
All right. Lion King.
We'll get him back.
Lion King. Give me my Lion King. We lost.
Yo no comprende mucho gusto.
Okay.
That's Ricky. He did.
Yeah. The camera just it's not accepting the camera anymore.
Probably. Them 17 texts came through. So with that being said, guys, here as we're wrapping this up, here we go.
That's all right. We'll get it back when it's time. We'll get through these. We've been playing that the whole time. 7 seconds behind.
No, get back to paint. We lost him. Put his hand back on the marker now. Put his hand on the marker.
Do they incorporate the Iron Man and all the Marvel characters in this movie?
Actually, no. And that's one of the beautiful things I was saying when he said standalone film. that they're not doing that. This film can stand on its own. So, what were some of the other comments there?
Mathis, it was super dope. The purpose of a film is to elicit emotion.
Very true, Mathis.
With that being said,
he's been dropping knowledge that the internet's forever.
The
purpose of film.
8 out of 10. The rules are it's 1 through 5.
They didn't know that.
They should.
3 years in, they should.
Shit.
Damn.
Hold on. Annie, you asked Royal the questions that you have. I'm gonna do some technical support over here.
Thank you. No, he's fine here. So, what questions do you have about me for the film since you have not seen it?
Okay. Do they, you know how the other Marvel films incorporate the other characters and Avengers and superheroes, I guess? Do they incorporate any of that in this film?
No, I was mentioning as you were off camera, I was mentioning that they don't actually do that in this, and that's one of the things I think I appreciate it because I've been mentioning for quite some time. And James, Mathis, I don't know if you guys out there who are listening will agree with me, but after Endgame, it's been such a kaleidoscope of a clusterfuck as far as between the show. Some of the shows have been good. You have WandaVision's been good. Falcon and Winter Soldier was okay. Hawkeye, I guess if I'm up for it, if I'm not falling asleep, I'm not even done with She-Hulk. I don't know if I ever get done with it. Never even saw 2 seconds of Miss Marvel. And there's a certain word we want to use here. It's overkill. It's overburn. Marvel has to be careful that you don't want to lose your edge and just give us oversaturation of film. And so that's why James was probably worried because what happened with Thor: Love and Thunder. I liked it, but people said it was a little too goofy. Then you have Eternals, which I was Jesus Christ. Maybe if Eternals and Thor: Love and Thunder had coitus, a consensual coitus, and had a baby, maybe those both would have been great films. But for me, I'm just happy that this still showed my faith in Ryan Coogler as a director, Marvel and having faith in Ryan Coogler because they originally wanted Ava DuVernay. But when you see this, it is a standalone film, and like James said, I'm going to revisit it in theaters again.
Yes.
When it hits the Fire Stick on the yellow links on Reel to Bridge, shout out for the cameo, pay me for the promo. I'm going to take it out, but yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. The underwater scenes.
Yes.
When you guys were doing the review on the trailer, did it exceed your expectations?
It did because unlike most people who will be doing the reviews, I can guarantee you this is one of the only reviews online that you're going to see in 3D. D. Yes, that's correct. We watched the film in 3D. That means everything that's coming at you now is coming at you now, not in a soft porn way. Dave, there you go, glory hole. In a widescreen way. We are getting this in a wide, right? Tropic Thunder. Just did that, yeah. But no, and we did go see it in 3D, and it was really awesome, especially see those beautiful African women in 3D. Yeah, you don't have to bet. And we are closed. So yeah, but no, that was pretty dope too. Keep asking me these questions, bro. The clicks are going up now. That's what lesbian said. I'm on fire. Let's go.
You're so silly. And what were the little things on his little fluttering?
Oh, the Mario 3 mushrooms. Basically, I'm being funny there, but
no,
on
like
winged feet. Like
okay, so to make him fly, that was how he flew, right?
That was dope because again, he used the word he's a mutant.
Okay,
and he's the leader of his people, so he's different from his entire race, and they look up to him, and that's why when David was earlier saying that him
were they trying to take over Wakanda? The people underwater were trying to take over Wakanda?
No, they just wanted to let them know that because they were threatening to. Wakanda's actions threat to expose their civilization.
Okay.
No one knew their civilization exists, not even the Wakandans.
Oh, okay.
So they were a secret society. They were been underwater for eons, pretty much.
So that's what the whole riff was about, that they didn't want to be exposed. Come on, give me something.
Come on. You can't do those type of expressions over there because it's like from Goodfellas, and David hasn't seen Goodfellas.
Come on.
What? What did James say?
What did James say?
Wakanda Forever has the least required reading to follow the story.
100% true.
Bring it back, babe. Here.
All right, Dave's back, guys.
Love y'all.
I agree, James. Well, I mean, I don't agree, but I agree to the point that I haven't done any of the required reading, and I love the movie, so I can agree with that sentiment. All right, so what's your review?
I give it a 5.
You give it a 5?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Degree of difficulty.
Like
I'm not saying it's the perfect film. I'm giving it a 5, and I'm telling you based off degree of difficulty.
Degree of what?
Losing character, losing human being, having to rewrite story, COVID controversy, and still managing to still have me have my hair swing into my eye with oil in it, and my discharge from my eye happen. We're talking about, and again, I'm not saying, I'm not mailing in. And I know Ronnie's watching now, and he's probably losing his shit right now because he probably thinks it's a -5, but I don't care. That's what Mathis said. Film is to elicit emotion. And I'm not, again, is it the best Marvel film of all time? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying it's better than the first one. I'm saying because of when you were a child and you saw these people up on these high beams and they walked down, they're like, oh, they're just going to jump into a pool again. But it said the degree of difficulty of this one is a 9.8. You got up a little bit like, oh, she might break her neck, or this might go really, really bad. And that's what I'm saying. They had so many more mountains to climb with this film, and they, for all intents and purposes, knocked it out the park. So I give them a 5 for that and the film itself. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. But not just based on just and the acting. I'm sorry, the acting to me was better in this one than the first one, and it was more the female leads brought it. They did not, like I said. I asked people, was this She-King with Viola Davis or not? Like, because the acting in this from the ladies was so amazing. So yeah, I give it a 5. 5 flying fucks.
I give it a 5 as well. I think that
a little twin
because what happened was they're like, okay, that spot over there, we're gonna land on that spot, and we're gonna land on that spot on this date, and you all are gonna love it. And they started running to do the dive off to that spot, and in the midst of the dive, it's like bam, Chadwick dies, bam, COVID pandemic, and they still fucking jumped and hit the spot when they said they would and stuck the landing. I would like
Dominique Dawes.
I mean, I gave the first one a 3, but it came down from a 2 because it was a Marvel film. But I like this one better than the first one, and I think it's just because of all of the emotional weight that it carries with it and how they like gracefully turn that into a really cool story.
They lean on it like a crutch. They enabled themselves from it.
And yes, take note, Ghostbusters 2016. This is how you do a girl power film. Seriously, because I'm not just gonna say it and not say why. Like the reason why, the exact reason why in this movie made me realize why this is a girl power film the way girl power films should be done, because this film did it the way guys do guy power films, which is just power films. Like whenever Arnold Schwarzenegger blows some shit up, it's like he blows some shit up. He doesn't say, I'm a guy and I'm blowing shit up. Ghostbusters 2016 status quo girl power films. So I'm a girl and I'm doing this. Fuck that. If you really want equality, leave out the part where I'm a girl. Just fucking do it and be badass as a female the way they did in this movie.
I would be remiss if I wasn't saying this because I'm the king of connections. While you're bringing up 2016 girl Ghostbusters, let's not forget a young Chris Hemsworth who plays Thor is in that film. Oh, yeah. And that's just what I do, goddamn.
And turn your dick into the men of the world, because that was absolutely not even because you were in a female-led film, but you were terrible in it. You were
as terrible as that guy's American Werewolf in London.
He was so sexy being stupid.
But this is how you do a girl power film. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park, and they stuck the landing metaphorically with the production. No, when I'm fucking done, I let you finish. Can you let me finish? Can you let the colonizer finish?
No, man. That's what she
said. No, sir. Not up in the hill. Stephen, my boy.
Anywho, so yeah. They stuck the landing metaphorically. They stuck the landing in the film itself. Like I said, the ending's my favorite scene. The way they just did it so somberly. They blew all the rules and expectations out of like what you expect a comic book film to be. They changed it. They evolved our expectations of what, like, I might go see other Marvel films just because of what this did, like how this changed my expectations.
But that's what's beautiful about it. You don't have to. It'll make you appreciate it a little bit more because it took us so long. But I agree with you. This is if no one would have told you this was a Marvel film and you would have watched it, I think you really would have enjoyed it.
It transcended. It made.
What you thought about Marvel?
It did for comic book films. What
Joker.
What? Yeah. Well, actually, before that, Dark Knight. What that Joker, Heath
Or even
Ledger
Batman
did for me.
Begins. That changed the world, the comic book world on his head.
It was real, but yeah, it had that feeling. It's like, wow, they could be a little bit more than what we expect. So that 5 and great performances. The fact with the challenges that they had to deal with, like you said, and they still came out and made an awesome film in the time that they said they were going to do it. I mean, yeah, it was cool. It was so fucking long and didn't really, and I still wanted more.
And it was exactly what you said when we did the trailer breakdown. You're like, I feel it's going to be 30 minutes of action. Then they're going to set the stories, give me my food, and then I'll be able to have my dessert. And
yeah,
exactly that. What are the comments saying there?
Robert Mathis is saying something about Namor character resemble Kid Icarus.
I like that. That's dope.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The old Nintendo game.
That was kind of dope.
Yeah.
I remember Kid Nicky too.
Google it. Don't have to. I played the game.
I lived it, Dottie.
All right. Shit. We that's yeah.
We did it.
How you looking?
Hey Rick, man.
Lost Rick again.
What's going on with Lincoln Chris and shit?
Could you hit the cam option on the bottom? It's red. It says cam. That should pull him back on.
This has been a load of fucking speaking about not feeling that long. I feel like we just hit record like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. I mean, we're gonna wrap it up a little bit early. Oh, but Fucksgiving. Before we get out of Fucksgiving, here's what the critics are talking about. So, just as a point of comparison, the original Black Panther, the critics currently sits at a 96%. The audience is a 79%.
You hear that, Terry?
Now with Wakanda Forever, the critics currently sits at 84%, with the audience at 95%. So it's almost a little flip
Terry?
there.
Does that make your blood boil?
Oh, Gilliam, you're Killiam.
And not Mayor Gilliam. That's another story.
So Rick, do you want to talk about the inspiration for that before we
he's still speaking Spanish. Get the English version. Hold on, he's still speaking Spanish.
Yeah, hold on. Still speaking Spanish. I don't understand
Yo no comprende mucho gusto.
That's it, Rick.
Sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party.
Sorry, that's shout out to my brother on that one.
Get on Rick. So hold on, David. Let's get up before. Hey, Andy, can you sit right there? Yeah. Rick, come over here. I've been waiting to see this dynamic for 3 days.
Oh yes.
Y'all gonna leave me by myself?
No, Rick's coming.
Y'all gonna leave me by myself? Because I can't do it by myself. Miss y'all.
Rick, you're on, brother.
He's on like butter popcorn.
Rick, you don't like Rick, the other way. You got it. Why you don't like Michael B. Hold on, I gotta go.
Who don't like Michael B. Jordan?
We're cool now. It's fucking Jonathan Majors. My boy does not like it.
Who don't like Michael B. Jordan? Royal, you don't like Michael B. Jordan? Oh.
Me and him don't like Lori Harvey.
Oh.
Go ahead, y'all two. You're
Okay. Well, okay. So about the painting. Where did you get your inspiration as far as the characters you're drawing?
Well, my first inspiration came from a message from my boy David, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I just went and Googled Wakanda Forever, and all kinds of stuff came up, and I just.
And what made you decide to pick like that?
I don't know. I'm a freestyler, so I just saw something,
And it just came to you, right? You just wanted to draw what you felt.
Yes.
And what did you feel when you are you excited to see the movie? You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
I know, me neither.
They say it's on my fire stick, but I think I'll be cheating. I think we should pay for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
what's your name again?
My name's Annie.
Annie.
Nice to meet you.
Annie and Rick.
Nice to meet you, Rick.
We're in the house.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. So you like drawing? You draw all the time?
I do. That's my one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
I got my one wheel over there.
I know. You gotta teach me how to do that.
Sure.
So as far as the picture goes, like which character is your favorite that you drew?
No. They got.
Yeah, I gotta learn. I gotta learn how to do that.
I'm already over here.
I'm not holding that.
I'll hold it. Here.
No, it's heavy. You're gonna bust your foot and sue me.
We're taking any type of sponsorships we can get, guys.
Yes. Y'all gotta cut my man's in them a check.
Hey,
you're gonna cut me a check.
I'll give $5 to anybody in the comments who can get this in 10 seconds. What movie? Wonder Wheel. I'm not the first thing you did.
Yeah, this is what. Yep.
Let me see.
You
Oh,
should
that's
sit at
it.
the top. Sit.
That was right, though.
This was from our very first segment of checking on Rick. I was in the shitter.
You was in the shitter and thought about it, or you was in the shitter drawing it?
I was in the shitter drawing.
Shut the fuck up. Hey, that's a big ass bathroom for you to be sitting like this on a toilet drawing.
I'm on a roller coaster ride. I'm so tight up on this.
I know.
Microphone.
Yeah. So as far as the characters that you're drawing right now, which one do you like? You felt more?
Oh, Black Panther.
Definitely, because I like that one. That one's dope on the corner.
It looks better on paper than it do on the whatchamacallit. We're gonna show y'all my
Both sketches. Yeah. All right. Next.
All right, man. You should have bring it. Ow! Yeah, no, I'm gonna get something.
All right. So, guys, we want to go ahead and say this. First and foremost, it is so nostalgic just to be here for this. This is, how surreal is this, man?
It's quite surreal.
Like, I feel like Iron Man. This is like Mach 9 of this show. We went through so many different setups, so many different changes. Guys, if you ever get a chance to go down the TTFT rabbit hole, you'll find a lot of great gems. And it's like Zelda. You're always going to find something no matter how many times you play it. That's what I did there. Boom, boom. All jokes aside, guys, like, it's been such a fun journey with you guys. We're growing. We have new hosts, new correspondents, and maybe one day you can be a part of the TTFT team. And you're already a part of it because you watch us, you contributed. We have our mega fans like Mathis, and we have, James, who in his own right has his great channel. And we've talked to so many great guests. I'm talking about unbelievable people. We've done so many skits. It's like Key and Peele meets what's those two guys, Siskel and Ebert. And I feel like we're like the 11th wonder of the world or something like that, man. Like, this is exactly what Martin Luther King wanted, right?
I think so. I don't like
at least, right?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. With that being said, guys, we want to thank you. Do we have any comments that we not get before we get out of here, man?
No, we're good, but we're far from done. We got coming up on Tuesday, November 15th, our friends' favorite films with Los 2K6
live, and on Thursday the 17th, TTFT talks with Mark Belzman.
Tuesday the 22nd, we're going live, counting down something or reviewing something. We'll figure that out later and let you know.
Yeah, we are. And then guess what? On Thursday the 24th, a new episode of Emma Everywhere, reviewing Tu Wong Fu. Kids from the 90s and 2000s. If you've never seen this shit, cancel culture, get your C's out.
And we'll have one more live on Tuesday the 29th, and Monster Squad's Andre Gower, his full interview will go live on Thursday, December 1st. So we're back. We're coming back swinging really hard, swinging those dicks. I don't know. Let's check in with Rick one more time to see how we're. I don't think we're going to see
what
the.
I wanted to do?
What?
I want to settle something while we're here live. I know we're finishing early. I hope James is still around. You know what I want to do? I want to play a little quiz live.
Oh no, I can't do that.
I bet you. I know why you can't do it.
Well, I can't do two screens at once.
Okay.
And you have to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to tell them, man.
It's a good thought.
Wasn't it?
Up and down the field. So I think what we'll do with Rick is put that once it's done, we'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram.
It's looking good.
He said he likes the drawing better than this one, so he wants to put up both.
I mean, you can't. Come on, you kidding me? Look what he did, man.
I mean, yeah,
On the toilet at that.
Oh, no, he was not on the toilet. That's pretty hot right there. I'm not gonna lie. That's hot.
Yeah.
This is why we hot. And look what it became my background. Like, well, that's a bad angle, though. But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll put the finished picture on Rick. I don't have anything else. You got.
No, I don't, man. I think we did fucking awesome, guys. Hey, don't forget to support the show. This shit ain't free.
Yes. Yeah. Do that. Do it. By subscribing and all those places.
Thanks to our moms of the show.
But
Laurel,
more importantly,
Thelma. Missing some? Dave? Barbara?
Angela?
Margot?
Yvonne?
That's my mama.
Oh, Miss Yvonne. Hello. Konnichiwa. Terry.
Emma's mom?
Emma's mom.
Royal's mom.
Royal. I said, yep. Mommy and daddy. All right. So, guys, hey, listen. It's been so good. We'll see you guys soon. We killed it. And guess what? Hey, listen. Live free, long, and prosper. Peace. love, soul, and Wakanda forever.
Ding, 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 dong.
I'm trying to say Wakanda Forever. Bye, guys.
You got anything before we say goodbye?
I have a lot of things before we say goodbye, but what's already happened is already happened. See you in the future.
And that is the mother
Trailer.
Yo no comprende mucho gusto.